There is no world like Ascensia. Orbited by 9 lunar luminaries, the world is home to shifting and violent tides. So violent that people tend to travel by airship rather than traditional ocean-faring vessel. And once a year, the seas flow out, only to be replaced by the Archentide, a shifting, swirling body of magical energy that can cause change. Our story begins in one of these times of change. An unprecedented eclipse event during the Archentide season brought change to our home, Karujin, the most verdant island in an archipelago known as the Cluster. Change in the form of an enormous new landmass off its eastern coast. Sensing danger from the new landmass?
Well, yeah, it destroyed Dracus. We literally named the space between us the Shattered Sea because it's full of Dracus debris.
Indeed. As I was saying, sensing danger from the landmass, Drix, a druidic lizard folk and hero of another age, set course for the new landmass with the blessing of the Karujet, the parliamentary ruling body of the island. After 4 years of silence, he sent a message through a sending stone in his office.
Wrong. He spoke to me through a plant named Rex.
Right. Yes. Rex. The new continent which he shared is called Eldaria, was home to both a Shadowfell cult and a Fey refugee settlement. Drix also noted that the tides, and Eldaria itself, seemed intrinsically linked with primordial forces called the Gaia. And thus our heroes take the stage. Drix requested 2 persons to travel to Eldaria after him, Odessa and Demetra. Odessa is a Firbolg outcast from her own tribe after her brother set her up to take the fall for a fire he himself set to their enclave. As a steady and experienced diplomat, Odessa was a perfect, if boring, if a little, dear,
Rude.
choice. Accompanying her was the complete opposite of steady and experienced, Demetra, a satyr refugee from the Feywild, with a ravenous appetite for all things new.
Excuse you? I am extremely steady and experienced.
As steady as an earthquake, darling. Demetra has been searching for her best friend and partner in sometimes crime, Vigo.
See? I'd call that the definition of steady, especially when you consider I'd been fighting for you for 3 whole years. You see, I've gotten some faulty intel that Vigo was locked up in the Felspire, this maxed up super prison, after one of our heists went belly up. One of the Fae, on the Karajit, promised me info on him if I'd go with Odessa to Eldaria. Apparently none of that was true, but I'm getting ahead of myself.
Yes, stories are often best told chronologically, Demetra. Drix instructed the 2 to meet with Greywind the Artificer for a one-way trip through an untested teleportation device. The duo, trusting in Drix's reputation as a hero,
I do not need to trust his reputation. I have known him almost my entire life.
took the offer and soon found themselves standing in the new land, just outside a large spire. Investigating the spire, they met a dwarf named Armak, its apparent resident. Armak offers the Eldarian neophytes raptor claw necklaces, by which they may gain entrance to Drix's grove. They also found a mysterious orrery, which Armak explicitly warned the 2 to leave alone. Demetra, in her infinite curiosity, of course investigated the orrery. She encountered the still-living eye of a long-deceased beholder warlord named Grixon, encased in a glass sphere. Horrifying. Demetra's uneasy dreams that night would prove, unbeknownst to her, to have consequences. Setting out on the trail after Drix, the 2 headed for a major Eldarian city called Titanfell. On the way they encountered a muscle-bound moron named Thrago, an apparent monster hunter who helped them slay a malevolent beast. Thrago told them of Titanfell's monster hunting guild and invited them to visit. How utterly alluring.
What is your deal with the hunky Andy? Are you jealous?
Oh, he is so jealous.
Upon reaching Titanfell, Demetra and Odessa were accosted by an odd-looking youth who stole their snacks.
How very dare!
We know, dear, you're very precious about your food. When they gave chase, however, they were suddenly surrounded by an eerie pink bubble. Rising from a seeming unconsciousness, the two found themselves in a dark, liminal space on a stone platform. And no, I'm never jealous.
Oh, of course not.
Definitely believe that.
Suddenly, greeted by an ominously cheerful voice, the two met the beholder, Grimatrix, the aforementioned consequences. Grimatrix was apparently birthed upon Demetra's interaction with the Eye of Grixon. I'm fairly certain Grimatrix has his father's eyes.
Audible groan.
Oh, come on. That was actually pretty good. Plus, imagine how he'd look if he had my eyes.
Thank you. After informing the pair that they'd be playing in a little game there in his pocket dimension, the poor chap had a lot to catch up on with dear old mum, Grimatrix sprang an additional surprise on them when he announced they would need a third player, and it would be none other than Demetra's dashing, handsome, intelligent, courageous, charismatic, talented.
Oh my gosh, get on with
Okay,
it.
laying it on a bit thick, Vigo.
Let's go.
Where was I? Oh yes, her missing in action partner, Vigo. And who should suddenly materialize before them? A tiefling that neither of them recognized, but thoroughly and impressively confusing everyone. The tiefling announced he was Vigo, before flashing a ring and transforming into the Eladrin Demetra knew. The three now set off to play in Grimatrix's games, solving puzzles of mental and martial strength. A strange message was communicated to Demetra, that her shadowy patron and bestower of magical talents, the mysterious Raven Queen, was not to be trusted. Because you should never trust or make deals with supernatural entities. I'm always saying this. After completing the games, Grimatrix bestows upon the party a series of gifts. Notably, Odessa received an elaborate halberd that was, unbeknownst to her, cursed.
It only might be cursed. We do not know for certain.
If you aren't certain if something is cursed, it's definitely cursed. Demetra received a brooch that granted her some sorely needed wisdom, in
Hey.
addition to the shattering of everything she thought she knew about her magic. And Vigo, poor, unassuming Vigo, received a particularly undeserved knife in the back. Sure, the knife turned out to be an impressively useful magical artifact, but it made a rather nasty hole in his very fancy coat, and it really hurt. Quick mending spell fixed the hole, but it's never really the same. Upon their return to the fungal-suffused Titanfell, the party split into two directions. Odessa would seek a diplomatic in as emissary of Karujin, seeking to establish cordial relations and find further information on the whereabouts of Trix.
Ooh, let me. Vigo and myself, however, would pick up our stolen scenes nom de plume once more and seek the Book of Dusk. I learned of this book from my archaeological exploits in Karojit. Trix found similar references in Eldaria, and the Fake Word of Spring promised to reunite me with Vigo if I obtained it. Of course, I already had Vigo at this point, but now we needed to learn what was in those pages about the Raven Queen, Grixon, and the war between the Fae and the Shadowfell. We heard rumors that it was in Titanfell's History Museum and made connections with some folks on the inside, because that's how it's done.
But meanwhile, revelations were afoot. Odessa determined that her new, beloved halberd was, yes, actually, cursed,
We don't know that for sure.
and by extension now she seemed to be too. Infused with the spirit of a fire Gaia, Odessa suddenly had access to immense, fiery strength and resolve funneled through her halberd. Already on the hunt for more information about the Gaia, Odessa was determined to get to the bottom of the mystery. Odessa inured herself to a small council of the lower strata of Titanfell society, hoping to use that connection to reach the higher echelons of Titanfell government to further her diplomatic mission and learn more about where Drix had traveled. Wining and dining with some of Titanfell's upper crust, she secured a meeting with Titanfell's governing body. While Odessa embarked on a journey of internal self-discovery, Demetra expressed dismay over what appeared to be an entirely different Vigo than the one she'd lost years ago. Overly cautious, overprotective, and entirely evasive, Vigo had lost the devil-may-care attitude of their youth. Confronted, Vigo came clean about a number of circumstances. He hadn't been imprisoned, but rather had been press-ganged into the service of the Shrouded, a shadowy network of wetworks operatives and assassins for hire. Worse yet, the Shrouded had discovered Vigo's deepest secret, that he was not the Eladrin he held himself out to be, but was rather a changeling. Knowing Vigo's true nature, the Shrouded meant to make Vigo their master assassin under the cruel administration of a Yuan-Ti named Dirites, a hardened taskmaster who would certainly be trying to track Vigo down. Vigo, not keen on murdering for money, particularly money for someone else, had managed to avoid committing unspeakable deeds, but was currently contracted to assassinate Odessa's brother.
This was a lot to learn. It's not every day you find out your best friend is not only not who he said he was, but that he's also a changeling. The Fae really don't like changelings. Like, threaten your children with them so they behave levels of not liking changelings. But lucky for Vigo, he's my best friend no matter what. He will, however, owe me for this for pretty much the rest of his life. Besides, we had a book to steal, and it wouldn't be nearly as fun stealing it without him. So, with help from a few former members of the Titanfell Thieves Guild, we infiltrated the museum, with Vigo disguised as a docent and myself as a guard in training. We found the book in the museum's new Fae exhibit, at which point I knew I had to remove it as quick as possible.
Leaving poor Vigo all alone at the scene of their crime. Victimless crime, of course.
He told you where to meet me.
You sent me on a wild goose chase through Titanfell to find water. While water was found at nearly every turn, Demetra was much harder to track down.
I followed the book to where a fountain used to be. You know what, Vigo? You can tell this part.
Thank you. Demetra encountered an Owlin who claimed to be her patron. Well, the real version of her patron, the Raven Queen. This murderous monarch claimed that Demetra had been led astray by her sister, a false Raven Queen who sought to destroy her. By the end of their conversation, Demetra was left with more questions than answers, but knew she needed to head to Northvale, the Fae refugee settlement north of Titanfell. Vigo, finally stumbling upon her despite no water nearby, noticed that a swarm of ravens was following them. The two were suddenly attacked by a follower of the fake Quill-Feathered Queen. Pushed to their limit, the sudden appearance of Odessa, tipped off by a timely message from Vigo, helped them send the rival warlock packing. Trying to return to their base of operations, a tavern named for its proprietor Scrubby, they were suddenly shocked as an explosion ripped through the restaurant, leaving an inferno in its wake. Saving who they could, the three stumbled into an underground passage to sleep off their wounds. For those who find themselves inundated by an embarrassment of proper nouns, the practical upshot of all of this is as such. A Firbolg, a Satyr, and a Changeling are on a new continent, searching for an old hero. They've been cursed, stabbed, and emotionally traumatized. They've only just begun. Will they reach Northvale and uncover the secrets of the Raven Queen? Will they find Drix and unravel the mystery of the Gaia?
Will Vigo ever stop holding back contextually important information from his companions?
Not bloody likely. While part of this tale is written in the books, the ink is still wet upon the quill. Join us as we further explore the realm of Ascensia.
The following live stream may include adult language and themes. How could we know for sure? Hasn't happened yet. Anyway, viewer discretion is advised. Now you may talk.
That always happens first, Michael.
Oh, yeah, are we go? Is it go?
Are we live?
Just
Are we live?
she literally just
I need
said
like
it.
I need a thing. I need a light.
Hi everyone. How's it going?
Hi, welcome in everybody.
Well, whatever. Welcome in everybody. Welcome adventurers. Maybe you'll know what the fuck's going on. Maybe you won't. Regardless, we hope you have a good time. Tonight we're gonna try to escape into some fantasy and have a little bit of levity, have a little bit of fun, and try to make our hearts feel a little bit better. And we hope that you'll hang out with us and do that too. Playing some Dungeons and Dragons with three of my very favorite people, Katie, James, and Meg. Hi everybody. How are we feeling?
James,
Ah, that's me. Hi, I'm James.
darling wife, Meg.
That's me. I'm Margaret
Ooh.
Alice. They call me Meg, so you can too.
All right, bring us home,
Charming.
Katie. Introduce yourself. Introduce your character.
Yeah, hi, I'm Katie. I played Demetra. She is a satyr. She is a level 8 bard, College of Swords, and a level 4 hexblade warlock. She is currently on the outs with her warlock. Apparently there was a little bit of a mix-up. She thought that her patron was the Raven Queen, but then it turns out that she wasn't, and I imagine we'll get into that later. And these two are her best friends in the world, and she's very excited for them to get to know each other better and to also be best friends. She also really likes food. That's important.
I am playing the character Vigo, a changeling in a world that hates and fears changelings. I am a level 6 College of Swords bard and a level 6 swashbuckler rogue. Vigo is a real dandy in his own mind, and won't. There's nothing that he wouldn't take that isn't nailed down.
For this campaign, I'll be playing Odessa, who is a level 12 Horizon Walker Ranger. She was booted from her tribe in her adolescence because her brother set her up to take the fall for a fire that he set, and crimes against nature are taken very seriously among Firbolg tribes. So off she was sent into the world and became part of the Council of Karjid and whatnot, which is how she got here. Is that enough? Is that good?
Yeah, she's a fan of quiet contemplation.
She is. She's
Very
superstitious. So anytime we start a journey, so like maybe right now, we should all sit in quiet contemplation together before we start.
No.
Welcome to session 1 of Ascensia, our new long-form flagship campaign. So Ascensia was essentially a super planet eons ago. So this world experienced this magical metaphysical cataclysm that spent parts of it scattered out throughout the universe. Some parts of the world were rendered uninhabitable, and other parts were not, finding themselves scattered into sort of these magic green zones that make it possible for life to thrive. One such green zone is colloquially referred to as the cluster. It is where our adventurers call home. Part of the year, parts of the cluster are just like normal islands with water, surrounded by oceans. But for another part of the year, the waters recede very, 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 very far away, and a phenomenon known as the Archentide comes in. Ascensia is held sway by 9 moons, each one having different significance and powers that it affect the world. This crazy tide being one of them.
That's a lot of moons.
It's a lot of moons.
It's a substantial number of moons.
So, Karujid is one island, a part of this cluster, and recently there was this eclipse that lasted for several weeks. And at the end of this eclipse, when the sun returned, one of the neighboring islands was just gone, smashed into a bajillion pieces, scattered out into this nebulous space in between the islands that's just called the Celestial Sea. And in its place was a supercontinent called Eldaria. Did that work?
Yes, it did.
Sweet. And that is where our party finds itself. Somewhere in the bowels of Titanfell, the largest city on Eldaria, this massive city that is made out of fungal growths that sprouted up from the body of a fallen Titan eons ago. The first thing that I want to do is I would like everybody to roll a d20.
Oh boy. First roll of the night.
I know what this is for.
Do you? Do you now?
I bet I do.
I didn't test my d20s before I joined the.
Well, hey, there's
room
no
today.
test like go time.
Very silly of me. Or not. That's a 14.
I
Okay.
also had a 14.
You all have pretty mundane dreams. I had like some really like crazy extremes written out, but I didn't really have like any mundane ones. But you rest pretty well, and as the three of you start to wake up, you find that your surroundings have changed. You're in this chamber, stone floor and walls. There are all of these receded alcoves. There's candles lit. Up above you is a circle in the ceiling with this really bright, intense light coming down. All three of you are on cots. This doesn't look like a bedroom or anything like that. This does not resemble the room that you all fell asleep in. But you could take a moment and wake up with one another.
Who turn on the light? Turn it off. And Demetria's just gonna pull her bedroll up over her head.
Dimitra, I think you should get up.
Oh, what? And she's gonna pull her bedroll down and then realize what everyone else is talking about and sit bolt upright. And her eyes are just gonna get big. She's gonna say, "Where are we? What is this?"
Who has the highest passive perception? Or
Probably
what is everybody's passive perception? That's a much better way to
12.
answer that question, Mike.
14.
18.
Look at that. Just how I predicted.
Yeah.
And that's appropriate for what Odessa is going to notice right away, as none of you are armed. All of your weapons are gone.
Where's my halberd?
Oh, hold on. I'm never unarmed, and she's going to attempt to summon her sword.
Describe how this works. Describe how summoning your sword works.
So, normally she just thinks, and it should just manifest in her hand as first seeming like a brilliant, like, ray of arcane energy that then solidifies into what most would say a sword with a purple sheen.
You get this sensation like you can feel it almost coming, but something is keeping it from getting to you.
Okay, this is very bad. I cannot summon my Hexblade. So usually my sword, I can summon it as any kind of weapon I want anywhere. I cannot be separated from it. But I am, so not
Vigo,
gonna
who's a
find out.
little slow on the uptake, finally like sort of turns around and says, "Is his weapons missing?" Punch and Judy were right here, and now they're gone, and I don't know where they went.
Vigo, that's what we were just talking about.
Oh, you all were talking, right? Okay, yes. Well,
It's good you're
this
so
is
pretty.
a problem, and maybe we should solve it.
Odessa, you would be the first again to pick it up. You smell this like smoke in the air. It's kind of fragrant, a little skunky maybe. And around the corner, like you have walked to this room several times, right? And there are these pillars. And then from behind one of these pillars, this character walks. Bloop. And he is taking a drag off of some sort of rolled up smoking item. He's got long wings. He's dressed, in fairly like heavy duty kind of clothes. He looks like he works for a living. Some sort of strange bug folk, reminding the party that Titanfell is populated by. It's a vast melting pot of species, but the bug folk and myconids are the two predominant species that reside in Titanfell, and this is a bug folk. Ah, good. You're awake.
Where's my halberd?
Did you bring enough to share? Because I think we're gonna need that.
Sure. Yeah, hold on.
Where is my halberd?
Right. Apologies. I can understand that it's a little discombobulating to wake up unarmed in an unknown location. I get it. Trust me. I've been there myself. Your halberd is safe. All of your weapons are safe. They are in a storage facility.
Take me there now.
First things first. Let's have a seat. And as he steps down off of the stone, the cots have now become big chairs.
Okay, what are you? Because this is some very powerful magic that's happening here. I have never before been able to be separated from my weapon. So.
Oh, well, that's because we're in a pocket dimension. It's the safest way that we could think to contain you while we have this little chat. Please, sit. Tea? Or something stronger?
Odessa does not sit.
Look, we've been through a lot lately, so please forgive us if it is difficult to trust you, especially when you do something like take away our stuff that's really important to us, makes us feel safe and secure, and it makes it feel like maybe, because does he have a weapon? Is he armed?
Well, the image does, but no, we'll say he doesn't.
Because how do we know that you're not just gonna, as soon as we sit, you're not just gonna come up and like murder all three of us, right?
I mean, that's entirely fair. Again, I've been in this exact situation before. I have a good feeling about you all. We've been watching you for a little while now, and well, my organization just wants to make sure that we're not going to be causing any problems for one another.
Not to interrupt, but what kind of tea was it?
Oh, well, we've got black kobold scale, we've got lace wing, we have orange cannonball, a little like tea table has kind of appeared, and there's a cup of tea on it for you. I work for an organization known as the Black Glove. You all have kind of made a bit of a ruckus since you've arrived, yeah?
Can you get to the point?
If you try this tea, it's quite good. You might find yourself a little happier.
Okay, but I really do want to try the tea, but this guy is hella sus, and are you already drinking it, Vigo?
Yes, of course. It's delicious.
What an idiot.
Okay.
I can appreciate your apprehension. I get it. I really do. An organization like mine doesn't stay secret by playing by other people's rules, though.
Well, your organization is the one who kind of transported us against our will into a pocket dimension and took away all our weapons.
Technically not against your will. See, he then reaches into his coat and flips through this like journal. Let's see my notes here. Yeah, you were told that you would be visited by someone, yes?
We would receive them where we were, not put somewhere else, as it were.
Yes. That is a little bit different. I can understand the confuddlement there. But circumstances have changed. Scrubby was a friend of mine. That name should ring a bell to everyone, yeah?
Yes.
Unfortunately.
Well,
We were a part of a group called the Hand. Are we understanding each other a little bit better now?
No, not really.
Not in the slightest.
Oh, wow.
still have no idea what you want with us here and why you had to bring us to a pocket dimension and take away all of our stuff.
Yes, I could very easily have listened to you also holding my halberd.
It's true.
We needed to assess whether or not you were a threat. Let's just say that folks of your potential make some folks nervous, that's all. We are in the midst of some pretty heated conflicts after all, and new players in the mix tend to make people uncomfortable. You know what I mean? Are you familiar at all with this organization known as the Shrouded?
I seen familiarity with them.
No,
Just
they're
Looks
giving
Except the
us
thief.
they're giving us a hell of a time, let me tell you.
No doubt.
Indeed. We're not exactly sure what their long-term goals are other than completely taking over our network, but we're still holding up pretty well. We've lost 2 sanctuaries to them, but we're able to get everybody out just fine. Anyway, I suppose we have something of an understanding. You're not going to try lopping off a bunch of folks' heads or anything like that. Yeah. Just I don't need to hear you say it, but other folks need to hear you say it. You know what I mean?
We weren't doing that before, so I don't know why we would start now.
On my honor, I solemnly promise never to lop off a head without good reason.
That's good enough for me.
I would like to draw as little attention to myself as at all possible, but I can't promise what may or may not come my way or in the way of my blades in the future.
Hold on a second. You're trying to draw as little attention as possible, but you're wearing that coat.
It's a very
I mean,
fancy...
it's nice. I like it a lot.
Yes.
But my eyes
Yes.
go right to it. I mean,
You are very
Certainly.
bright.
It's called
got a
hiding
point.
in plain sight.
Is that
If
what
I'm
it's-
drawing attention to my coat, then I'm not drawing attention to the activities that I'm engaged in.
Hiding in
It's
plain
really
sight is
very
something
clever
that
if you think
I
about it.
do after I cover myself in mud.
he takes another drag off of this smokable. And his visage just sort of fades into the smoke, kind of like when Juno disappears in Beetlejuice. And then similarly, the illusion that is around all of you fades away. And you are in this very expansive underground. I put that in there on purpose. Underground sort of city, like a little small little borough. I don't know. But you can tell you're underground. So as you appear, you guys are just kind of in this little alcove. And there's a doorway to your left, and Timrek comes around the corner with all of your stuff. Yes, here you go. Here you go. Sorry. It really wasn't, it wasn't personal. I mean, it kind of was because you're scary, but anyway, here you go. No harm, no foul.
So Demetria's going to immediately try to summon her sword and breathes a huge sigh of relief. And I assume it comes right to her.
It absolutely does.
Yeah, you can see Odessa's shoulders visibly relax when she has her halberd back in her hands.
And Vigo picks up his twin blades, holds them up, examines them, and nods and sticks them away.
First off, you're all very talented. You're good at what you do. The trick at the museum drew a little bit of attention to yourself there, Hoofy. But other than that...
That's what I've been saying. Thank you, finally.
And
It's not like I had
is it
place.
Odessa, right? I mean, you're a walking powerhouse. That halberd is also something super impressive. Our Arcanist was very, very impressed by it. You'd probably like her, actually.
You let someone touch my halberd?
Oh, no,
We
she
shouldn't
didn't
have told
touch
her
it,
that.
but she did scry on it. Had to make sure it wasn't cursed or anything, you know. You ever had a curse put on you? Terrible.
Was
It's
it
not
was it
though,
cursed?
right?
No, it's not cursed.
Good.
That's good. Odessa, that's good.
So, where are you all headed?
Well, where are we right now? Because that still seems to be a mystery.
Ah, this is called the Underneath. It's a sort of a sub-level of Titanfell, kind of in between levels, so to speak.
In between levels. What's
Yeah, best way to stay
underneath the
hidden.
underneath?
The Dark Market.
Oh,
Aha.
oh! And she's gonna immediately make a meaningful glance at Vio and Odessa.
I don't know that we've got time for shopping necessarily.
Oh, she
Would you
doesn't
say
want to shop.
I understand. The underneath is like frosting between layers of cake.
Sure, if the frosting like steals stuff, yeah.
Ah, it's the best kind of frosting.
That is really good kind of frosting.
It's
The un-
really good frosting.
The Underneath is almost exclusively the domain of what remains of the Thieves Guild, the Black Gloves.
So, but the shrouded don't know that you're.
They don't know that we're here.
Do they know that this place exists?
That's a good question that I don't have an answer to, and that makes me a little bit uncomfortable now that I'm thinking about it.
So, have you
Yes,
been
well, it should.
watching us from the underneath, like through grates and stuff?
Oh, no, nothing so creepy.
I
I
mean,
just
it's
have this...
kind of creepy every time you say, "We've been watching you." It gives
Oh,
me the
is that-
heebie-jeebies.
Is that creepy? Oh,
It's
wow.
real creepy.
It's a little creepy.
It's more
It
like
do- it
the
doesn't help
Voyeurs
trust
Guild
Alright.
than the
I'll,
Thieves Guild.
I'll workshop that. Thank you for that
Mm.
for that criticism. No, he opens up his coat and this like small bug.
That's
like
not
moth-
better.
So a little moth guy kind of like flaps up and then lands on his shoulder. I send these guys out mostly.
Oh, hello, friend.
What is it?
Called a woolly watcher. So it flutters over to Odessa. Odessa, give me an animal handling check.
Okay.
Dice rolls. Yay.
Yay.
With rocks. Clickety clackety.
My animal handling is a +4, which makes that a 15.
Yeah, so as you say hello to it, it kind of flutters over to you. As it gets closer, you'll notice it has one very big eye.
Oh, hello.
Oh.
Oh, you're so pretty.
But he's very
Hi.
fuzzy.
Oh, oh my goodness. Oh, what is your name? You I like.
I think that's Silas? He
You
looks
think?
a lot like his cousin Cephas.
That's okay. I don't really believe in names.
It only has 6 legs, right? There's not 8 on there, right?
Got a thing for arachnids, do ya?
None of your business, but I just wanted to ensure that it only had 6.
Oh no, he's only got 6.
Legs. 6 legs.
So, how does it just
Good.
talk? It just talks to you.
Oh, I just see through its eye.
You just see through it. How do you do that?
It's a very clever moth. Yes, he is.
Magic, mostly.
That's a cool trick. I know magic. Can I have one?
You know, they kind of got to pick you, you know.
Demetra, don't you feel like you're enough of one mouth to feed?
It's so little. How much can it eat?
Yeah, these are mine. These are my buddies. Sorry.
Okay. Maybe they have them in the dark market.
Oh, sure. There's all kinds of stuff down there.
Great.
Don't encourage it.
Well, if there's nothing else you need from us, I think we need to get going.
Well, where are you headed? Is there anything we can do to help you?
You were just asking if we were a threat to you, and now you're asking if you can help us?
Well, yes, he must have
yeah.
determined that we are not, in fact, a threat. Keep up.
Yeah, it's pretty astute. Yeah. Do you want some more tea?
Yes, actually. Do you have any more?
Yeah, I actually have to brew it, though. It's going to take me a minute.
Actually, was the tea I was having before, was that just an illusion?
Oh,
It
that
doesn't
tea
matter.
It was
I mean,
very good. I have to say.
Yeah,
Well,
I gotta
it's-
tell you, you guys are asking questions that I have just not even begun to entertain. Even me on my toes. I'm gonna go get that tea. I'll be back.
I think you'd be
At
used to
this
that by
point-
now.
At this point, can Demetra discern that this tea is likely not poisoned?
Yes.
Okay.
There's no poison. They're not trying to kill you.
Okay. She is now very suspicious. Thank you, Michael.
You're welcome.
I just wait. Can I get a cup too? I want to try.
Sure. You guys kind of find yourself in this little like alcove courtyard sort of area. You are fairly alone. Like I said, there are people working out in this underneath, but there's nobody else in your immediate proximity.
Okay. So this is weird. But I don't know. He seems as okay as other people we've run into around here. Besides, him and the thieves taking all our stuff, which, by the way, was actually a very good trick. I would like to know how to do that.
I would like to know how to counter that.
Yes, that would be very good. Well, I would like to take a swing through the dark market and just take a look, see, and if we just happen to find ourselves in the arena that's down in the dark market, would that really be so bad?
You want to do some prize fighting?
Not necessarily, but we should at least check it out. Let's see what all the fuss is about. Thrago mentioned it multiple times, and so that just seems to me like maybe it's important.
Are you sure you're not just looking for Thrago?
I mean, if we happen to run into Thrago, or if
Then
we
we'll kill him.
find ourselves, Vigoria, I'm gonna need you to cool it.
We'll stab him in his 47 abdominal muscles.
Them.
Sorry, them.
Oh, the elf is so insecure.
I know, you almost sound jealous.
I don't like monster hunters.
We hunted monsters.
Very different, Demetra.
Okay. I'm just saying you're judging Thrago a whole lot from one encounter, and that's maybe not very fair.
It told me everything I need to know, but nevertheless.
Did our first encounter tell me everything I need to know about you?
Uh-oh.
Depends on what you learned from it.
After a few moments, you hear somebody approaching. Odessa probably hears them first.
Hark! A person approaches.
That's my life.
And coming down these steps is another bug folk, much more feminine form, carrying a staff with these very large antennae on top of her head. And she approaches the group, particularly focused on Odessa.
Odessa is going to keep her halberd in her grip, but she's going to point the blade at the ground.
Hello. I don't mean to startle you.
I am hard to startle.
I just wanted to remark on how exquisite your halberd is. I'm sorry, where are my manners? My name is Scarlet.
Are you the Arcanist?
Yes, I am the resident Arcanist for the Black Gloves.
And you took an interest in my weapon?
Yes, it has some very peculiar magical properties, as I'm sure you're well aware. Where did you acquire it?
Let's just say it acquired me.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense, actually. I don't suppose you have any interest in parting with it.
Oh, no. Not unless you want to be punched in the face.
Just curious. I am something of a purveyor of magical items, and there's something of quite significant magic.
I'm not sure that it can be wielded by just anyone.
Interesting.
It is somewhat new to me as well.
Oh. So I take it you don't know who created it?
Do you?
No. I would have to spend a little bit more time studying it in order to find the finer details. Speaking with weapons is always such a tedious task. They seem to be singular-minded. I won't keep you. If you ever want to study that weapon a little bit more, do look me up.
Do you have a card?
Yes. And she hands you a card.
And you're sure you can handle a weapon this large?
Quite sure.
All right then.
I am a trifle nervous about getting in bed with anyone that's already on the shit list of the shrouded. It seems.
Well, you know you don't have to sleep with them.
Oh, no, I'm not
Metaphors
interested either.
are perhaps. Okay, we're going to learn about metaphors on this journey. If it's the one thing that we accomplish, I am going to teach you, Odessa, about metaphors. And maybe, if we're lucky, if we get far enough in our studies, we might broach the topic of similes as well.
Are
So
those
they
anything
hold on.
like nicknames?
Oh, yeah,
No.
those-
Anyway, yes, Demetra, you seem to have something more important to say.
Yes. Thank you for picking me, Mr. Vigoria. Wait, what was? Hold on, this is Katie.
This is off the rails.
You done joked yourself into forgetting what you were gonna say.
I didn't do it. He did it. I was gonna say it. Oh,
The highest compliment.
okay. So okay. But they apparently also they have this this spies, powerful, vast network of people and places doing things. Maybe they can help us with the shrouded, Vigo, and the problems that you're dealing with there, because it sounds like they have an eye on them in a way that we don't.
And hear me out. We could just avoid the shrouded entirely and forget that they exist, and hopefully they'll forget that we exist.
Yes,
Don't
that
think that's how
sounds
that
likely.
works.
Look, if there's anything I've learned, it's that the ostrich method is the best way to go through life. Bury your head in the sand, ignore your problems, and they'll disappear.
Just then, you hear a clackering of china on a serving tray as Timrick comes back around the corner carrying tea. I wasn't sure if you preferred biscuits or scones, so I brought some of both.
Oh, good. It's been ages since I've eaten, and she's just immediately gonna grab
Oh yeah, go.
all of it.
Tuck in.
There any jam for those biscuits?
I didn't bring any jam.
Oh, I might have. I think I still have some of that, like the vestiges of that moon jelly, and she's gonna fish around in her bag until.
Yeah, Odessa's gonna look over Demetra's head at Vigo and say, she's probably had plenty of gem, if you know what I mean. What is that? Is that a
That's-
metaphor?
That is a horrible joke, and you need to take it back.
Where are you all headed?
I believe we had discussed with your compatriots that one of your number could possibly convey us safely into the dark market.
But sure, if that's where you want to head, we do have maintain a presence in the dark market. I do feel compelled, considering some of the circumstances of late, to give you all a bit of a heads up that the shrouded are also very much established in the dark market at this point.
Timrek, important question. Are people looking for us, specifically us?
Yes.
So perhaps if we were to assume disguises that might be of value?
Oh, absolutely.
Perfect. Wonderful.
Is anybody able to magically track you?
That seems more like a you question.
Yeah, maybe it's Scarlet can help with
Yes,
that.
perhaps Scarlet the Arcanist could help.
I'm sure she could. Yeah. She's doing a bit of disenchanting work at the moment, but yeah. Those
I will go
necklaces.
ask.
Oh,
I had a feeling.
Okay.
Let her go ask. Let her go ask.
It's
Vigo.
fine. It's fine.
Sorry, Vigorious.
okay. The turn that I was not expecting. So good job,
Great.
That's why you married me.
indeed. No, I just that that thing that happens sometimes where the GM just like over preps.
I have no idea what you're referring
You have
to.
no idea what I'm talking about. None
Not in the
whatsoever.
slightest.
Not in the slightest.
No.
No, I'm here
I'm
for
sure-
it. I love this shit.
I'm sure no one in this group has any idea what you're talking about.
So it doesn't take you too long to kind of follow the path, and I'm sure if you wanted to ask somebody for more specific directions, they would point you along. And you kind of get to this sort of like a open warehouse kind of setup. That there are a bunch of big thick, heavy wooden tables and crates, and you can see a few what perhaps one would presume to be magic items. The fancier stuff. This isn't your normal like piles of swords and armor. There's very specific ornate art pieces and jewelry and a couple of staffs and things of that nature. And off near one of the tables, you see Scarlet holding her staff up in the air and kind of twisting it a little bit, and you can see that the sphere at the top of it is emitting this light, and there's a little moth that is flying around it, and she's kind of just wiggling her fingers over a quiver full of arrows.
Odessa will sort of stand in the doorway for a second and just watch her work for a couple of moments, and then
Oh, yes. Odessa, she like stops for a second. Concentration. What can I do for you?
well, I wondered if perhaps you wanted to take another look at my halberd before we go.
Oh, well, sure. I would love to. We would need to return to my laboratory, but sure. That is now an okay time.
Yes, why not? No time like the present, right? That is a thing that people say.
I have heard that saying, I believe.
Tell me, so as you're walking and talking at this point, how is it you acquired the halberd?
Well, as I mentioned, the halberd sort of acquired me.
Right, but how did it physically come into your presence?
Would you believe me if I tell you that I won it on a game show?
Well, I have no reason to distrust you, but I must confess I don't know what a game show is.
You do not have Arcana cast here.
No, I don't believe so.
You'll have to come visit sometime in Karjid. You'll love it.
Ah, that is the neighboring island, yes?
Yes.
That's
That is
where you
where I
all
am
are
from.
from.
Yes.
Right, right. So tell me, do you have Gaia where you're from?
At this point, you have arrived back at her workshop. It's not too far away from the warehouse, as some of the warehouse stuff is also present around her laboratory workshop space. There are also several unseen servants moving about carrying things. You just see disembodied tools and boxes and things sort of floating around her workshop, putting themselves away and reorganizing.
Well, not a not a terrible amount is known about Gaia, but I believe they are everywhere.
That is quite certain, actually. I must confess, it has become something of a passive interest of late, considering the circumstances that the guild finds itself in. We've had to turn a lot more of our magical focus on protecting and, in turn, hurting. But I have quite the interest in the Gaia. I have wondered about the presence of such in the neighboring islands, as there are quite a few purported here in Eldaria. The reason I bring them up is because I believe that your halberd has some connection to the Gaia. Oh, this is an opportunity. You say that there isn't much known about them where you're from. Well, we have been studying them for quite a while here in Eldaria. The Gaia are connected to the primordial magic that makes up Ascensia. They are physical manifestations of that primordial energy. They are intrinsically linked with it. There are some who speculate that they can't even really be killed. That sure, you could fell one, but it would just return. You cannot kill the Gaia of fire so much as since you cannot kill fire. Do you understand my meaning?
I do indeed. That Odessa will pull her halberd off of her back and take it in both of her hands and sort of give it a one of those, and it catches on fire.
Yes, yes, yes. If I may, so she reaches into her coat and pulls out these prisms, and she's kind of holding them for a second, and then lets go of them, and they're like almost like they're on strings, but you can't see any strings. And kind of moves her hands around the halberd, not touching it or not getting close enough to get burned. Yes, yes, your weapon is almost made of that primordial energy.
Yes, that's
Like
what
it,
I was afraid of.
I don't think it was even forged on this plane.
Oh, I'm quite certain of that.
Hmm, most peculiar. Game show. How is it, do you think, this game show acquired it?
I have no idea. I
Hmm.
we barely even had time to register the fact that Demetra had a kid.
I'm sorry, there was a child?
Well, he wasn't a child by then. It's a long story.
Right. Well, there is a Gaian temple in Titanfell. You may be able to glean a little more information there because they specifically worship the Gaia of fire.
Okay, that is that is very good information. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Thank you for giving me a moment to get to know it a little better. Primordial magic is such a strange, tantalizing thing.
Oh, also, are you able to tell if anybody is tracking us using magic, or shield us from magic tracking?
I'm not sure exactly how to tell if anyone is magically tracking you, but I absolutely can shield you from such. It will take a little bit of time, few hours. You're not in any hurry, are you?
Oh, no, take your time.
Thank you very much. I can get started on that right away. It tends to be a relatively simple process. We employ such devices with some of our scouts and whatnot.
Do you need anything from us, or should we just hang out until?
Make yourselves comfortable. The underneath is a rather hospitable place, despite the ambiance.
And how far is the Gaian temple?
Oh, you'll have to go back up to the city proper for that.
Probably not a good idea right now. Okay. Well, just give us a shout when
I'll come
we're
find you.
good. Oh, okay. Bye.
Bye. Bye-bye.
She's gonna go find her
Meanwhile,
friends
I haven't got to say that in fucking
now. Forever.
Meanwhile, back at the Fortress of Doom, Timrek is sitting with Demetra and Vigo. And, I was wondering if I could unhinge my jaw, and sure enough, I absolutely could.
So it seems, and she's gonna kind of side eye Vigo a little. It seems that the Black Glove has been keeping an eye on the Shrouded. You've been tracking their movements.
Yeah, we're basically at war with them all to a certain extent. A shadow war, if you will, but the conflict nonetheless. You all kind of garnered some of their attention, it seems, with this incident at Scrubby's.
Oh,
that was
wait,
them.
that was
wasn't
them?
it?
Oh, yes, most assuredly.
Oh.
Scrubby was one of our last surface contacts in Titanfell proper. He was a good man. Well,
He really
goblin.
was. We really appreciated Scrubby, just for who he was and everything he did for us. It was hard to see him go.
He'll be missed.
And all the more reason for us to not really care much for the Shrouded, do we, Vigorius?
I don't. Why you keep? It doesn't
So,
matter.
You all, well, actually, I think it does. You all are from, remind me of the pronunciation, Karajid?
That sounds right.
Ish.
The neighboring island, yes. That's where the Shrouded originated.
So
Yes?
we've been told.
Oh. So you never heard of them before you got here?
Some of us were more familiar with them than others, but it's neither here nor there.
Oh. Well, gosh, it'd be great to get a little bit of insight into them,
How about this? They're bad.
Oh, yeah, we can tell. It's
Yes.
why we're doing our best to put a stop to them.
I would probably just avoid them if you want to remain breathing.
Well,
that's the thing about fires, though. If you just don't attend to them, they tend to get out of control.
look, V, there's a lot of them, right? And there's a lot. I mean, how big are the Shrouded? Like, it probably wouldn't be so bad if we had some help in that regard and maybe getting them off your back a little bit.
Are we just talking about this out loud now?
No, I said it through my teeth.
I'm starting to get a feeling that you might know a little bit more about the Shrouded than you've let on.
Well, know about.
Look,
honestly, no. Have experience with, unfortunately. But
look, it's clear we have some mutual disdain here.
Correct. Yes.
You seem really scared, though.
Yes. For good reason.
Please enlighten me. I mean, I know they pose a threat. They've killed a lot of my friends.
Vigo looks over at Demetra as though he's looking for sort of like a approval to talk further.
Just nod at him. Like, what?
Pretend for a moment that I was maybe one of their number, and they wanted to put me to ill use that I wasn't fond of. And when I didn't do the things they wanted me to do, there was some physical ramifications as such. And the person that inflicted most of their pain may or may not presently be here.
So you're trying to avoid any confrontation.
Generally speaking, yes.
I can understand that. Still, these things that haunt our pasts, they tend to have a funny way of creeping up on us. I wouldn't say ignore it, but you got to come to it in your own time, your own way.
Or you can continue to run from it.
I mean, if you've got strong enough legs, I guess.
And
We're gonna
Wow.
keep being here in Titanfell for a while, so it's probably not a bad idea for someone to be helping to at least keep an eye out for whoever it
Yes.
is you're specifically trying to avoid. Maybe they know a little bit about some of their movements and what they've been up to.
Or, and bear with me, just for a moment, we could not entangle ourselves at all with anyone or any entity that is entangled with them. Yes,
We could
perhaps?
try to avoid any entanglements, but who's to say those entanglements aren't just going to find us and then we're just up a creek without a paddle?
Well, it'd be a lot harder for them to find us if we hadn't been spouting my name off here and about
We
everywhere.
were in a pocket dimension and I haven't said your name out loud since then.
It's a very vigorous was not your best effort, Demetra. Nevertheless, look, we don't want any quarrel with them. We're no friends of them, but we're trying to avoid having further complications. She has things she wants to do. I'm here to make sure she can accomplish those things.
Fair enough. I'm not can't force you to do anything.
But to that end, is there anything that you could help us do?
Well, if you're trying to avoid them, I probably would not advise going into the dark market just now. Just with the kerfuffle back up on the surface, I kind of got a feeling that they're really going to be gunning for you. Where else did you say you were trying to get to, though? Sorry, I wasn't trying to drop any eaves, but these antenna.
I don't think we'll have any issues getting there on our own. We just need to get north of the city.
Headed out to the Fae settlement?
Yes.
Yes.
There's not
In
much
the
else north
way.
to the city, and you're Fae, aren't you?
Yes. Kind of
Guilty.
obvious, I
Poor
suppose.
choice of words. I suppose.
Sorry. Fawn?
Satyr.
Satyr. Not
It's a common mistake.
a species I have really seen much of, to be honest.
Oh, even in Karjid.
That place you're from.
Yeah.
My homeland, the land of my people.
That
Even in
one.
the land, well, the land of my people is the Fey Plane. But even in Karjid, there's really not that many of us either. So we're a bit rare.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm not surprised you haven't seen many of us here either.
Well, if you're trying to get North Vale, I think they call it, there is a crawler that runs to that corner of the city. Could get you there
You
pretty
would just
quick.
have to get back up there without being
Oh,
noticed by anyone who.
no, the crawler. There's a crawler station underground too. They go all through the city.
Oh, there's those large bugs.
But I thought
Yeah.
this place was secret, so why would you have a public
Oh, it's not public.
transportation stop? Is the transportation not public?
Oh, the transportation's public. The stop isn't. He very awkwardly winks at you, and you can actually hear his eyelid.
This is just blowing Dimitra's mind. You're gonna have to give her a minute.
Vigo looks at him and says, "That is very surreptitious. No one would ever know that you were winking, friend."
It's the noise, isn't it? I can't make it stop. And he just he blinks for a few seconds, and you just hear.
Yes, but I believe if you put enough effort into it, you can stop.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I got you. I got you. Again, appreciate that helpful criticism. I'll make a note of that. Thank you.
I am nothing if not a constructive critic. Where is this crawler's stop, as it were?
It's back towards the main exit from the underneath.
Excellent.
Not
Is there
far.
any way up to North Vale that doesn't involve getting on the inside of a large bug creature?
Well, you could take one of the one of the industrial elevators up to the surface level. There, it's just outside of the city walls. You'll have to hoof it from there. It's a bit of a walk, but
Oh, I'm
you've
good at
got
hoofing it.
legs. Huh?
And hooves.
I see what you did there.
If this particular crawler stop isn't public, are there members of the general public that are on this crawler?
Sometimes.
But, okay.
I
Interesting.
don't.
Well, I think we need probably a moment to discuss with a fellow compatriot who seems to be enjoying herself elsewhere.
Skirt chasing.
That's one way of phrasing it, I suppose. Was she even wearing a skirt? I don't think.
Oh, that's called a metaphor.
Stop it.
You might be familiar with them.
I don't like being hoisted on my own petard, Dimitra. You know this.
I love to hoist you on your own petard. It's so much fun.
God. You're lucky we're friends.
You set me up so well.
I'm here for you.
I know.
At this point, I guess Odessa can rejoin the group. Timrek will. I'll let you discuss amongst yourselves. Just give me a shout.
Okay. All right.
Right.
So we are being shielded from magical tracking, but it will take a few hours. So I suggest we don't go up to the surface until then. Or down to the dark market.
So we have to stay here for the next couple hours?
Yeah. I mean, if we don't want to die.
Oh. Okay.
Well, all right. So the two of you still have things you wish to accomplish here? Is that right?
Well,
I just need to go outside of the city to North Vale, and it sounds like going down to the dark market's not a good option. Is there anything else you need to do in the city? Odessa?
Leave. Oh, Odessa. Sorry.
Oh, yes, actually, there is a site I was hoping to visit before we leave. Plus, we may need to talk to the council. I've got to get them to sign the treaty. So,
well, that's not happening right now, is it?
I don't know.
I think it was 2 days ago. Two days from now was the original.
Yeah, it was going to be in several days.
Yeah, so we have time to go to North Vale and come back.
It feels like the heat is a little
You just asked me
Hi.
what else I had to do in the city. I was just answering a
Oh.
question. I wasn't putting it on a
Yeah.
timeline.
I thought you were gonna mention the temple.
I did.
Oh,
So,
okay.
if we have to come back to this city anyway, why don't we leave for a moment, let the trail on us grow just a touch cold, and then we can come back and visit the temple, see the council, avoid the dark market in
Go
Thrago,
to the dark market and see
avoid the dark market in Thrago,
See
and
Thrago and the dark market.
go on our merry way without ever encountering that abdominal
So close.
You know,
Joke just petered out.
You could have more abdominals too, couldn't you? Couldn't you just like add some?
Yes, but
She has a point.
I don't fake it. I make it.
Well, it sounds like you just need to get to work then. I hear
Look.
there's this arena in the dark market where you can build up your strength.
I heard that you know how to be quiet, so why don't you demonstrate it for us?
Wow.
Yes, let
Wow,
us all
dude.
sit in quiet contemplation before
No,
we
Look
embark.
what you
not doing
just
that.
did. Look what you did. You did this to us.
All right, we have two choices. We can either ride on the inside of a large bug, which is at least distasteful, or we could hike through tunnels for a while to get up to North Vale. I leave it up to the two of you.
Large bug, large bug, large bug.
Yes, I don't see why we would not expedite this process.
It's not like it has 8 legs. You're
So-
fine.
So many legs.
Okay, get this, Odessa. It's public transportation, but the stop is not public. It's a secret stop for public transportation. And people from the above grounds will still be on the crawler when they come here.
Right. So if we are going to take the bug, perhaps we should disguise ourselves once more?
Oh,
Yes.
well, yes, that is also a good idea, but I don't see what is so strange about this. If Scarlet can cloak us from being tracked magically, I am sure she could also cloak a stop from being perceptible to the public. She's very talented.
What else is she good at, Odessa?
Wouldn't you like to know? Come on! Here we go!
Wait, we can't leave yet. I thought we had to stay for a couple of hours.
How convenient.
I thought you wanted to go to Northdale and come back.
Well, we have to wait until we can be
So then-
not magically tracked, so
Okay,
why
we
don't
think
you...
that's going to be a problem in Northdale as well, not just here in Titanfell.
Well, you want to get on public transportation. And if we're magically being tracked, they would know where we're going. So
I mean, okay, it's up to you. You're the one who's all worried.
Odessa sees one pretty bug girl.
I
You
want
know what?
something to happen so badly so that you believe me when I talk about how terrible this organization is, but I don't want anything bad to happen to either of
James
you
wants something
intentionally.
So we are going to explore in the underneath then,
Or we could just sit tight
in quiet contemplation.
Let's go
or
explore.
in talkative form.
No, Dimitra's already heading towards Temrek to ask him what there is to see around here so they can kill a couple hours until we're able to head on up to Northvale.
The voice of reason all of a sudden.
What can I do for you, Dimitra?
We apparently have a few hours to kill Scarlet cloaks us for magical tracking, so what do? I will go crazy if I sit in quiet contemplation for that many hours.
Fair enough. Well, there's a library. You know, we have quite a few research materials there. There's a firing range where we do some target practice. Sparring pit as well.
There are a set of classrooms that we do some burgling instruction, things of that nature. There's a cantina. Not really a touristy kind of place. There's a residential block, but I don't think anybody's gonna let you in their house.
You'd be surprised.
Can we hear this, by the way?
If you followed me.
If you followed her. If you didn't follow her, no, you cannot.
I feel like she took off too quickly.
That's
I
fair.
always
You
follow.
guys are both used to following Demetra when she goes off on her own.
I think we're both just kind of staring at each other like, oh, she took off again.
I have very long legs.
Okay.
All right. You've caught up with Dimitri.
Great.
I think they can't. Okay, thank you. Where's the cantina?
Yeah.
Oh, it's bottom level. He like points. There's like some stairs that kind of go down. This is a different part of the underneath, turning our attention back to Roll20. And you can see that it is, again, quite expansive. It goes down very deep. And there's all these very tall columns of mushrooms that residents and buildings and things have been built into the side of. That just about everything down here looks like it's been owned. It doesn't look like the buildings don't look like they've been built, put together. It looks like everything's been sort of dug out and carved out of this fungal material. The only like man-made fabricated stuff you would see is glass. You see some bits of metal here and there, but this is much more organic looking than what you remember seeing on the surface.
There's a lot more to this underneath than I thought there was gonna be.
See, it's not so bad.
I guess we head to the cantina.
All right, so y'all head down a little ways.
You want to go to the place with food and drink. Color me shocked.
What's better? I mean, it's nothing like getting to know people than at the local watering hole.
You want to know a culture, learn their drink.
Exactly.
Wait, before we step in, Michael.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Is there anyone around the outside of the cantina? I mean, if I were to engage in some sort of surreptitious activity, would there be anybody around to notice it? Okay.
No.
Cool. Before we step in, I will assume the form of T-Rek.
Of what? Of Timric?
Timrek, not T-Rek. Timrek. Sorry.
Okay. So you step in, and
what are you doing?
Just just blending in.
By stealing someone else's identity who is recognizable in this place? Yes, that seems smart.
Do you even know who I am? Have we met before?
But don't you think? Okay.
Is Vigo just going in?
Well, yeah.
Let's just see how this goes. All right, knock yourself out, Vigo.
But he's wearing different clothes than Timrek was, so there you go. Timrek doesn't have a glorious red cloak.
So, in walks Timric with Firbolg and a satyr, wearing this fabulous red coat, and there behind the bar is a rather stout, kind of portly Myconid.
All right.
Timric.
Oh,
good to see you. Your usual.
Yeah, please.
Coming right up. What can I get for the rest of you?
what's the usual?
Oh, we call it the festering shot.
Oh, that sounds fun.
And he goes kind of under the bar. He can't really see. Although at one point you do hear like a pop, like a cork jar, and some like tiny bugs fly up. He sets this like a rocks glass on the counter that is filled with a sort of milky yellow liquid and a bunch of tiny worms.
This is payback for
For something.
All right.
yeah.
Emmerich,
Yeah.
bottoms up, and she's gonna hold out her glass to you.
And as inscrutable as Tim Rex's face might be, you get the sense of hesitation.
This is what you wanted, isn't it?
Yes, Timric.
Oh yeah.
To Scruffy, no?
To Scruffy.
Scrubby.
Well, yes, Scrubby. Yeah.
Demetrius
That
gonna knock
guy.
it back. And then watch Vigo as he knocks it back.
It's been a long day.
Roll d20s.
What am I rolling?
Constitution, I assume.
Yeah, give me a con save.
Okay.
Yes, we'll finish the night with this.
21.
So we'll say that Vigo's adaptation of shape changing is such that he's even able to sort of adopt the physical traits to make this putrescence palatable. Dimitra, on the other hand, it has very unpleasant mouthfeel.
Odessa manages not to spit out her water, laughing.
Like it might take you a second to swallow it. You know, you're like,
She's a weirder.
Dessa, you sure you don't want to join us? You know, we're all in this together. You want to have a little bit of this? Yeah.
Oh,
You
one
can-
of us should stay sober. Got to babysit, you know.
Nah. We're waiting for a few hours. You could have one.
You can feel them crawling on your tongue.
Look.
Miss, it's all right. It's not alcoholic. It's a cleanser.
Oh, all right.
That's the usual? Huh.
Yes, Temric, obviously.
Okay.
Are you feeling all right?
No,
No, he's
I'm not. Can I have something that actually has alcohol in it?
Sure.
he sets a couple of like ales up on the bar top. The only other person in the bar at the time is a very tall, very what's the gruff-looking lizard folk, and he is sharpening a sword, kind of in the corner.
Anyone?
So, what brings you in? Timric.
Oh! Temric brings us in.
And who are you two?
Oh, I'm Dimitra, and this is Odessa. We are, friends, I guess you can say, of Temric's.
Ah, well, I'm Grimweld. This is my establishment. I keep the thieves fed proper.
Oh, speaking of, what we're new to the underneath. What is your food of choice for this lovely second breakfast?
My food of choice?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I mostly just consume decomposing matter, but I tell you, I'll bring you one of our deep down shepherd pie.
That sounds wonderful. Enough for the whole table. Okay, let's go make a table.
He disappears into the kitchen.
So, who do you think sword lizard guy is over there? Temric.
Are we out of earshot of everybody else?
Yeah, he's the only other person that's in the place, and he's far enough away, and he is engrossed enough in what he's doing that you would probably, if you were watching him, you feel okay talking.
I have no idea. If you're so interested, why don't you go introduce yourself? I'm in disguise.
I will ask. Hello, friend. Who are you?
Odessa. Oh, God.
So he points his head up, and there's kind of this like low hiss that doesn't really seem intentional. It's just maybe a noise that he makes. Were you talking to me?
Yes.
I'm Captain Pilius. And you?
Well, my name is Odessa, and this is Dimitra.
My name is D. Just D. My name's D.
Okay.
Pleasure.
You are
And
captain of
you are-
what?
I'm one of the guard captains who works in the dark market.
Oh, my friend Dee over here is very interested to visit the dark market. We hear it is lovely.
Timric, right?
Hey, Cap.
Any word on those additional troops?
Still working on that. We'll get back to you.
Oh, right.
What is it you are needing additional troops for?
Well, I'm not sure how much Timric has told you all, but we've been having some trouble with a rival organization.
They're new here. We need to know sort of basis, right?
Right.
Right.
I
Yeah.
understand.
Perhaps we could help.
How bad has it gotten? That are the troops necessary?
Well, I wouldn't have thought so, but there have been quite a few disappearances recently.
What kind of disappearances?
Proprietors of a few establishments that our sources tell us the shrouded have infiltrated.
Have they taken over those proprietorships?
It would seem so, yes.
What kind of stores?
One of them deals in weapons. Another is a purveyor of alchemical ingredients. The last one is a bit of a strange place, relatively new. It's called the New You Emporium.
The New You Emporium. What do they sell?
Honestly, I couldn't tell you. I have heard this cattle caller outside saying that you can make yourself new again. Be anything you want, be anyone you want, something to that nature. It all sounds like a bunch of snake oil to me.
Feels like we should all be comfortable in our own skin, yeah?
I mean, I shed my skin, but I think I understand your meaning.
All right,
Yes.
fair enough.
What is he? Bugs, you know. Exoskeletons.
It's called molting. Okay, well, thanks, Cap. I will get back on finding out if there's more troops available, and we'll let you know the moment I know.
I appreciate it. Timber. If you'll excuse me, he stands up and puts his sword away, gives kind of all of you like a nod, and he leaves. A few moments later, Grimsley returns, and he sets down this tray with three sort of deep pestle and mortar style bowls. That's the broth has got this sort of purple tint to it. And there are bits of meat and vegetables. Everything's dark colored. I don't. What's the foodie roll? What do you roll to be a foodie?
Investigation?
Nature?
Investigating it with your taste buds?
I'll tell you what. Each of you
History.
roll whatever you think works the best for the moment.
Do I have to explain to you why I think it's the best, or can I just roll something and not tell you?
I
what
trust
rolled?
you. I trust
Oh,
you.
okay, great.
Oh, 14
wouldn't.
again.
15.
You know what? I'll be honest. 14.
What? Mid rolls across the board. It's good. You know, it's not like the best thing you've ever had. It's not the worst thing you've ever had. You could probably guess that there's some root vegetables in here, and might not necessarily be something you're explicitly familiar with. But you know the texture of a potato. This is just a different color potato. The meat, on the other hand, maybe can't quite guess it, but it's not bad, and it's not going to make you rouse.
Demetra consumes all of it.
Is there a menu that would describe what was in the ship? Okay.
No.
Say, what's the meat in here today?
Oh, that's a grub crawler.
Oh, the same
As in
thing
like
that
this-
people ride inside of.
Well, sort of. Like a small version of it that doesn't get very big.
Right, so it wasn't one that people were walking around inside of?
No.
That's a relief. Okay.
Wembley goes back behind the bar and is just sort of tending to the bar.
Are we done here? Is there any reason to still be here?
Aren't you still eating?
I'm good.
Oh. Can I get a couple of to-go boxes?
He comes back with like some jars.
Oh.
These aren't really boxes.
Those
But
are
they...
perfect. Temric will make sure to return them to you.
I appreciate that.
Why? Would you
Because you live here and we don't?
make sure you're really bad at this, you know? How are we ever so successful?
Just because it's about that time and I need a little bit of chaos. At that point in time, Timric walks in the door.
There we go. Ooh.
Oh. Well, this is awkward.
I'm already here. Maybe I should go somewhere else.
So who is really bad at this, did you say? Because I think you said it was me, but I've got a different hunch.
Hey, there's a time and a place, and now is neither.
How
Well,
about
you
we
made
just
your
leave,
bed.
maybe?
This is an illusion. I'm very good at casting those.
Hey, me. Could we step outside and have a conversation for a brief minute?
Wembley's like standing there like this. He's doing the Spider-Man meme,
Spider-Man, yes.
but like horrified.
Sure.
I am going to try to alleviate this situation here. This won't be pleasant, but it'll distract him.
Don't do it.
So Demetra's just going to say, "Oh, what's that over there, Grimsley?" And she's gonna cast Mind Sliver. And she just it drives a disorienting spike of psychic energy into his mind. So he's going to be disoriented and take some psychic damage.
What
Does
did
he roll
you
anything?
do?
Why couldn't you
No.
have just gone outside with the real Dimrick for a moment?
Well, it's not like you see anything happen. He just suddenly gets a really bad headache. And then we can blame the problem on his really bad headache.
Or he
There's
just
no
gets
roll,
brain
it's just-
damage.
Okay. Yeah, okay. So Wembley gets a really bad headache all of a sudden. And grabs his face and a bunch of spores
Yes.
they spit out into the air.
Oh,
But,
Grimsley, that looks bad. You should go lie down.
he's just
You're
making
probably
like
seeing
sort of
double.
or quadruple because he's got 4 eyes. Yeah, he can't really talk. He's just kind of making noises and like moves to get behind the bar and goes.
She'll
and
go help
disappears.
him behind the bar.
You better.
And then Demetra will join you guys outside and mouth at Vigo.
Timrick, how closely have you been following our mutual friends here?
You know you do not have to do his voice anymore.
He doesn't know anything. Listen, maybe. We don't know yet. Let's find out.
Why do you look like me? I look great in that coat.
You do. So you don't know why I look like you, is what you're telling me?
I mean, I suppose it's some kind of magic.
That's, I am so good at illusions. Hold on, I'm gonna just step back here in the alley for a second. If you just wait a minute. And Vigo will step back behind the building so no one can see, and once again assume his Eladrin form and step back out and say, "See, I told you, I'm so good at disguises. I am
Wow.
the best there is." And I was just putting it to the test, as it were.
Oh, I see. I see. Let's
Yes.
give me a deception check.
I can do that.
I'm sure you can.
I can do that. That's a 26.
Of course it is. Yeah, he kind of nods. Oh, yeah, that's pretty clever. Trying to, pass for somebody like kind of in the heart of where that person is from, and be grateful he didn't give you the usual.
Mine did give me the usual. Why should I be concerned about that?
Oh, you're gonna need to find a latrine like fast.
Oh, don't laugh, Demetra, because you will too.
Oh, you both. Oh.
I like to try the local cuisine and beverages.
Well, I'll put it this way. You're gonna feel a lot lighter.
I love that. It's been a while.
I've needed a cleanse for some time.
And just because we like a little bit of a cliffhanger flavor, how long do we think we've been down here? We've been long enough. Yeah, it's been long enough. I'm the GM. It's been long enough. So as you are having this little humorous moment with Timric outside the canteen, you see Scarlet coming down the way, carrying a box. Everybody make dexterity saving throws.
Get those two.
Hey, much better than my earlier con save.
16.
That is a 26.
Everybody said it at
22.
22. Meg?
16.
16. All right, so you all save. Timric and Scarlet do not. Timric, fortunately, is on this level here with you all and just kind of falls as the ground suddenly starts to shake. You can hear all around you things starting to groan and shake and see bits of debris, hear a few shouts. Scarlet takes a tumble down this walkway, dropping the box and falling over the edge, and that is where we're going to stop this week. Welcome in. We're back.
I'd like to go diving after the Scarlet, please.
Well, before you do that, after a brief moment, it seems pretty scary for a moment. She comes floating up because she has these big, massive wings.
Perfect. Of course she does.
Oh, that's handy.
It is worth noting that there is still a little bit of rumbling happening. The large pillar columns of mushrooms and fungal growth that the underneath is built out of are creaking, and there's bits of debris falling down. You hear some voices. Timric is visibly shaken. Actually, I think he fell on his ass. So he picks himself up and kind of balances himself. He also starts to just sort of fly in place because he also has wings. Anything immediate Lafarty wants to do?
Do these happen often? That was a lot.
Timric braces himself and dusts himself off. It's been happening with a lot more frequency of late. That one was kind of a doozy. Scarlet, do you mind helping me out? Let's go down and check and make sure that the barrens haven't flooded again. And he kind of starts to flutter off that direction. Scarlet is like floating there looking, and she's kind of nervously twiddling her fingers. Oh dear, oh dear. I seem to have dropped your stones.
Oh, down there.
Yes.
How far is it?
Oh, not too terribly far. I believe that is there's a residential block down there. I'm not 100% sure though. Do you have safe means of climbing?
Actually,
I have rope.
hold on. Wait for it. I'm trying to remember the exact details of this thing that I may have that might be helpful. Excellent. Yes, we do. And Demetra's gonna tap her little owl brooch and
Oh,
cast
that's
Waterfall
right.
on the three of us.
Well, I have to follow Timric. You should be able to find them fairly easily. The box was sealed pretty tight.
I guess let us know if you need help in the Barrens. That sounds kind of tricky if it's flooding and whatnot.
It certainly can be, but nothing that magic fingers can't fix. Good luck to you. We'll reconvene.
Okay.
Sure.
Well, thanks, Scarlet. If we don't see you before we go topside, I appreciate all your help.
It was lovely meeting you. I do hope that we'll see each other again.
Oh, I think so. And she's gonna give Odessa a significant look.
That she completely misses.
She flutters there for another
Throw an
moment.
elbow at you.
And her little bug friend that was with her kind of starts to fly off and then stops and turns back and gives like a, and then Scarlet follows.
So we
Love it.
just fall? Is that?
Yep.
Come on down, it's fine.
All right, so the three of you are falling down this really dark chasm. After does get like really dark for a minute, but then as you get a little bit lower, you see this faint light glowing beneath you. This pale green from the bioluminescent mushrooms and other fungi that you are used to. Turning our attention to roll 20. So as you land, you are immediately greeted with the sound of water. There is a river right nearby, old stone bridge, a small rickety dock. There are not a ton of buildings. There are just the buildings that are the structures that are represented on the map here. You see 4 domiciles of some sort. Everything's made out of like rustic, rough-hewn wood. There's some stuff carved into the rock. Lots more of the fungal growth. It's eerily quiet, other than the rushing of the water. There are a few lights in the buildings, but there doesn't seem to be any movement or anything. Any immediate actions that the party wants to take?
I'm just gonna glance around to see if the box is
Look around.
near us. Yeah.
Give me
Investigation?
yes, an investigation check.
Is it bright enough to see down here then?
It is, yeah.
Okay.
All of us or just one of us?
Whoever is actively looking for it.
I got a dirty 20.
Nice.
Okay.
I
So
did not.
it takes you a minute, and you kind of wander. I'm going to move your token around a little bit. You kind of wander around, and it leads you. You move up here, and there's some big, thick bushes, and moving around in it, rustling around in it, you do find a box. And then suddenly there's another rumbling.
Uh-oh.
And
Hold on. Hey, friends.
Off to your right, you hear a really sharp crack, and then this hiss of all this gas, this gaseous sort of sound, as a small sinkhole basically opens up far enough away from you that you're safe. You don't need to be super alarmed by the hole itself, but what leaps out of it first is a bug folk. Literally leaps out. He's basically a giant grasshopper.
Okay.
This big grasshopper dude leaps out and lands and sees you. Oh, hello. And then following him are 3 very strange creatures crawling up out of the hole. You first, Dimitri, you'll see it's just kind of this armored hand, but with really long fingers. The armor itself looks like it's sort of cobbled together out of a mix of scrap metal and chitin or a insect carapace. And you can hear. Give me a perception check since you're the closest.
Guys, that is a That's a 12.
Oh, never mind. You're too overwhelmed with just the visual sensation. But these 3 figures come crawling up. There's the art.
Guys, there's a lot happening over here.
Looking at them, you will see that again, big chunks of armor, bits of carapace and chitin, maybe even some bone, some scrap wood, but holding it all together, and in between the joints and crevices, you just see these writhing masses of mites.
Ooh. Oh, that's gross.
And they kind of stumble a little bit and look around, and then they point. Roll for initiative.
Oh boy.
Hurrah.
Wow, I'm gonna change dice. That's not great.
That's a 10. Excuse me, grasshopper friend. You seem to have misplaced your other friends. Maybe tell them to back off.
Bug Dude is also going to join the combat, because why not? All right. What was everybody's initiative? I'm sorry.
I'll put it in.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah, you can put it in yourself.
Oh, we can?
Mhm.
Yeah, you just click on the number.
What? I can't.
What'd you roll?
I had a 25.
Jeez.
Christ.
I got a 14.
I have a plus 12 to initiative. We've had this conversation.
It still surprises me every time because that seems like an absolutely bonkers number. It shouldn't be that high.
Don't blame me.
You didn't write the rules.
Nope.
You took advantage
I
of
just-
them, though.
Always play by them.
What a lawyer thing to say.
Don't.
We are at the top of the turn order with Vigo.
20, 25, 30. Run up here by Demetra, and say, how many legs do they have?
I didn't get a good count. Sorry.
No, I'll hold an attack action until something gets within range of me.
They are crawling with mites, and I think those have 8 legs. Odessa, do mites have 8 legs?
No, I don't. Never tell me the number of legs. I don't know why I asked. Just leave it be.
The grasshopper guy will pipe up and go, yeah! Remind me what everybody's AC and HP are real fast. I'm sorry. Meg, what's yours?
I have 141 HP, and my armor class is 16.
James?
My armor class is 17 because you cruelly stole my Iowan stone away from me, and my hit points are 99.
Katie?
My HP is 107, and my armor class is 18.
How are you the least squishy?
She's a frontline fighter. She's a big sword. It's magic.
It's true.
All right. So you're going to hold your action?
Yes. Yes.
It is this dude's turn, who is going to take a swing at the bug guy. So he lifts his arm. Again, they're not proportionate. They're not made well. They're not formed well. And this arm that's basically the size of his whole body lashes out at bug dude and smacks him pretty hard. And he is going to get knocked over here. Smack. It is now this one's turn, which is going to see, look towards Demetra, and it's going to come stomping forward, and then it just stops, like right in front of you. It doesn't do anything. Odessa.
I'm just gonna run up on this first guy, I guess. The one that's closest, because that's how far I can go. And I think, yeah. And swipe at him with my... Oh, that's not what I wanted. Sorry. I'm moving the whole map instead of just me. And take 2 swings at him with my halberd.
Roll it up.
Will do. I'm also going to use my planar warrior as a bonus action so that if I hit, it'll do additional force damage. Oh, that's not quite as good as I thought. It's a 13, not an 18. But still, I have a plus 11, so that's a 24 to hit.
24 will hit.
Okay, so that's going to be 16 points of slashing damage and 14 points of force damage.
Nice.
And then I can hit him
Well,
again.
Remember the rule with Michael. Michael's math brain does not work well, so please
Sorry.
tally all of the damage at once. Seriously, y'all kill me with that. I know it's hard. I know it's
30.
hard. I'll tell you when the damage types matter.
It's 30.
Thank you.
And I
I
get
have
to
a
hit him
lot of-
again.
I have way more numbers in front of me than I'm comfortable with.
What,
Y'all are gonna
what
have
makes
to
you
really-
think that my math brain is any better?
Pitter patter.
Oh, that's only a 15. Does a 15 hit?
15 does not. So
That's okay.
we'll say so when you swing that halberd and it makes that contact, that force damage knocks this thing, and it is not super stable either, but instead of falling over, what you see is a spool of those mites sort of jet out and catch itself as
Ooh.
it lumbers back up, and the armor repositions.
So it's like a swarm inside a suit of armor? Is that what's happening?
That's exactly what is happening. There's a swarm of mites living inside suits of armor fabricated from the carapaces of other dead giant insects, fallen warriors, because there's the armor here too, and whatever else they can find to pull together into these living
Okay.
animated hives.
That's
It
gross.
is now our bug friend's turn, who is going to pick himself up from this. He's got smacked into some planks and stuff, and then he's going to use his grasshopper feature to jump 35 feet straight in the air and land on the roof of this building. And then he pulls out a crossbow to fire at this guy, and he misses terribly.
Oh, but it looks like they're not friends at least.
They're not. So he's going to take a free action to look down at the three of you and goes, "Oh, I appreciate the assist. Really, I do. Yeah, they don't look like they're any match for you guys." All right, Demetra, your turn.
So she's gonna shout back and be like, "What did you do to piss these guys off?" She is going to cast one of my favorite spells, and she's gonna cast Sleep. And I'm gonna cast it as a second level spell, so I get to roll 7d8. So that is 31. So starting with whatever creature's got the lowest current hit points, subtract that from my total of, what did I say, 31. And if that is if that 31 is equal to the amount of HP, then he falls asleep, and then you keep subtracting until there's no number left.
And who are you targeting?
I centered it here.
Thanks, friend.
You're welcome. It's a cube, so of 20 feet.
Just woke up. Don't need another nap.
They all have more hit points than that.
Okay, was worth trying.
Right, they are unfazed.
Great.
7 different urges.
Then I'm going to cast Hex on the monster right in front of me. So I deal an extra 1d6 necrotic damage, and I get to choose to give it disadvantage on something. I will give it disadvantage.
What? Yeah, I didn't realize. I don't remember if you chose or if it was the default.
Yeah, I get to choose. I will do disadvantage on Wisdom, because that's my favorite. And then I'm going to move. Just going to take a couple steps a this way. Cool, and that's my turn.
It is this one's turn here, which is going to follow old Bug Boy. So it actually like lunges at the corner of this house, and 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. It actually can get pretty much up the way. It actually then spider climbs as all of these little splinters of the swarm sort of burst out of the seams of the armor and pull it up the side of the building. And we're back to the top of the turn order with Vigo.
Vigo, incredibly disappointed that no one got within range of him. Explain to me again how we're doing flanking.
It doesn't have to
So-
be exactly opposite, right?
It doesn't. There's always going to be some discretionary things. You know, some creatures are harder to flank than others, stuff like that. But in most instances, yeah.
For our sake, I'll just move here.
Yeah, he is definitely flanked.
Yes. And when let's see. Woof. Okay. Does a 19 hit?
A 19 does hit.
Cool. What's my sneak attack again? It's been a while. 3. All right.
That's me with my spells right now. I'm like, what? How does this work?
And I will also add a defensive flourish. 22 damage for the first attack.
Nice.
And I gained 6 to my armor class, so it's now 23. And second attack. What?
You're
What, Meg?
broken.
It's not broken. I used sneak. I only get 1 sneak attack, and I can't use another flourish. So
Okay. All right.
well, I rolled 5 twice. Does a 16 hit?
I goes to the runner, so yes, it does.
Yeah.
Fantastic. That's another 9 damage.
Alrighty. Into your turn.
Mm-hmm.
This one down here is going to follow the other one, and it just climbs up the building.
How tall is that
This-
roof?
About 35 feet, give or take. This one, because he has been attacked by multiple characters at this point and is surrounded, is going to attack. He sprouts a third leg, and to stabilize himself as he takes this real broad swing with his arm, and the armor sort of carries around in a circle, and he slashes at all 3 of you at the same time.
Rude.
Oh. Yeah.
Vigo, you're safe. But just because of your ability there, Odessa and Demetra are gonna eat it. Demetra, you have been critted.
Well, wait. Can you?
I get a reaction. Hold
Yeah,
on.
I was gonna
Whoa.
say you might want to take that reaction.
What was the roll to hit? Oh, it was a
20.
crit?
It was a crit. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Odessa was an 18.
Can I use my reaction to cast silvery barbs and make one of them? Make one of those rerolled.
Yeah.
Do you get to choose which one rerolls? I'm guessing it would be the crit.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Thanks.
All right.
You don't even have real arms.
Yeah, it's a miss this time. So good job.
Wonderful.
Odessa, give me a Constitution saving.
Hold
throw.
on. I still get a reaction.
Oh, okay.
I am also going to cast Silvery Barbs.
Yes.
Okay.
Traveling with bards. Traveling with bards.
You call that a swing, more like a hit and a swing and a miss.
Except this one did not miss.
I
So
tried.
they rolled an 18 again. Give me a con save, Odessa.
I tried, Odessa. I'm sorry.
Thanks. Where are...
Oh, who gets advantage, James?
That's a dirty 20.
Good question.
All right. You are not poisoned, but you're still going to take some damage.
I'll give Odessa advantage. Well, she's already got advantage because we're flanking, so I guess I'll give it to Demetra.
You're going to take 12 points of slashing damage. The 3 of you will also notice now that there is a cloud of spores coming out of this body.
I don't like that.
Odessa.
I would like to combine my bonus action of Misty Step with my ethereal, what's it called? My what is it?
Yes, what is it? So I can look it up.
Go distant strike with my attack, which allows me to teleport 10 feet before each attack. So I'd like to add that to my Misty Step of 30 feet and attempt to get to the roof.
Okay.
Yes. And then because of that, and then I will attack one strike on each of these guys up here, I guess, with my halberd.
Okay. Go for it.
The first one is a 24.
Yeah, that hits.
Okay. And the second one is a, what is that? I can't read it. Oh, it's a 30.
That's a hit too. Hold the damage.
Yay!
Dang.
The first one's going to take 12 points. And the second one is going to take 17.
Oh, thank you. Hit.
Yes.
All right. It is now our bug dude's turn, who is once again going to use his bug folk ability to leap. We got 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. We're going to leap over here. He does get an opportunity, provoke an opportunity attack, though. Oh, which is a big old hit. Shit. So as he leaps off the building, this one here, that first one that comes up, you'll see that this one of its hands actually does have a old sword that's in it. Hand. I use that term very loosely.
Sure.
As it like sort of just wildly swings out and makes some connection with his side, and he lands on the ground. Damn. Demetra.
Is he gonna answer my question?
None of your business. Just fight.
I don't know that I want to fight these things if you did something to piss them off and they have every reason to attack you. She is, however, going to take a couple steps over and attack this one because it attacked her. I am going to attack and I get advantage because of flanking. But okay, so Silvery Barbs, it says the next save ability check or attack within 1 minute. So does that mean I can use it later as long as it's still within a minute?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Cool.
That's 10 rounds of combat.
I assume a 15 doesn't hit.
It does not.
Okay. Then I'm going to try and hit again. Ooh, that looks much better. Yes, please. But I assume a 23 hits.
Indeed.
Wonderful. Then
Which one is this on? That's on the one that the two of you were fighting already?
Yes.
Okay.
Then I am also going to use a defensive flourish. Sorry, it's been a while since I've done combat with her. I'm like, what am I even doing anymore?
I know, that's why I decided to have combat tonight, because we shake the dust off.
Yep.
Oh,
Clear out those
actually,
cobwebs.
that first attack should have hit, but I mathed wrong, so that's on me. I was looking at my numbers incorrectly.
Tell me about it.
That was a 18 damage.
18 damage? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's looking pretty rickety. More rickety than it was looking anyway.
Wonderful. And let me just make sure that I can't do anything else. I don't think I can. Everything else is an action. Oops. Nope, that's not what I wanted. Stop it. Yes, I'm good. All done.
All right. It is this guy's turn up here who just took the swing at Jumpy Boy. You can tell that there's a bit more animation in this one. And after a moment, its body sort of vibrates, and then you would swear that you heard the word
Thief?
yeah, sort of echo out of the body as if screamed by a bajillion tiny voices. And it's going to leap down because of the nature of this body. It has to make a save. Ooh, and it fails. So when it hits the ground, it actually disincorporates for a second, and the legs give out, and you see the swarm sort of scatter.
Does it trigger an attack of opportunity because it's leaving my melee space?
It did. Yeah.
Yes. That wasn't great. 14. Never mind. I tried.
All right, Vigo.
Vigo takes one sword and points it at the grasshopper, and the other sword he keeps trained on the mite creature in front of him. And he says, "Listen, friend, we're not in the habit of saving folk out of the goodness of our hearts, so you better have a very good explanation for this, or you're next." How high up is the roof?
Between 30 and 35 feet.
Okay, so I couldn't get both of them, but I can get him. I'm gonna cast Nether's Mischief
Yeah, you are.
in such a
Nice.
fashion as to catch the two might armors and the oh, can I get both of them and not get Demetra?
Probably not.
No.
Probably not. No.
I mean, if you put it a little
That could be
closer
fun,
to
though.
the wall.
What? Yeah, I know it could be fun, couldn't it?
It could. It could indeed.
You might be able to get it, the one that's on the roof.
No, because it's 35 feet in the air and it's a 20-foot cube.
Oh. You can shout at me to take a 5-foot step and then hold your action.
He's already
Until I
used his
do.
free action. He already used his free action to threaten Bug Boy.
Threatened him. I just told him to have a good explanation. Right?
We both know what that meant.
Now
You know what, Demetra, I believe in you, so you're gonna get hit with this too.
You did just give me advantage, so seems fair.
Okay. So roll a d4. It is a 3.
Is it a wisdom save?
It is. Each creature in the cube must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or begin giggling until the start of your next turn. A giggling creature is incapacitated and uses all its movement to move in a random direction.
Remember, bro here in the middle of us is got disadvantage.
Disadvantage.
Okay, cool.
I do.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And the DC is 17.
Yo, I think I made it. Yeah. 17. Oh no, never mind.
Oh, no.
It's a wisdom save, so I'm not great at those.
Yeah.
I failed.
Oh boy.
He's gonna get an earful later.
Yeah, dude. So you just start giggling and running around? Is that my understanding?
Yes.
All right. So which direction are you going to run? Because the one in the middle, he also failed. This one over here passed and is also prone though. So, because of the state that he was in when he landed. So this one's gonna run. Does it provoke an opportunity attack?
Random direction.
I mean, if they're moving outside of my
Yeah, I figured.
And it has to be in all its movement, so it pretty much can't not.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4. That's ironic. So it's
How
actually
far?
5, 10, 15.
Like, so use all my movement?
Yes.
Lame.
So you don't really hear laughter. You just hear this sort of skittery, weird, trickety kind of sound. And if I tried to make it, Discord would just cut me off.
Sure.
As it runs towards this nearest building. Take your opportunity attack.
I'll be honest, I didn't expect giggling to be that awful.
Yeah.
22.
Roll your damage, but I'm pretty sure you're gonna kill him.
Okay, this is just a reaction, so I don't get to add any special stuff to it. 8.
Still standing.
There's 1 on the die. Womp womp.
So Demetra giggles madly and runs off towards the where you see her now. She's near that bridge.
But I still have a bonus action, so let's see, 5, 10, 15. Vigo will run over here and see if he can't finish this guy off with his offhand attack. Nope, that's a crit fail. Perfect.
You just got overwhelmed because the homeboy is making terrible noises. He probably fell over, knocked some stuff over. There was a cat screaming. There was all kinds of
That was. Oops, is all you hear.
Is dude up on the roof's turn, which is also going to chase after Bug Boy. Leap off the roof, make your opportunity attack Odessa.
Yes, please.
Oh, he passes.
24.
Roll your damage.
It's just the base die, right? Since it's a reaction.
Yeah.
So that's a 9.
He's going to move towards old boy. And then when he gets up on the bug boy, he raises both hands up in the air, and you guys can kind of see the mites like swarming consistently more in the arms. He thrashes the arms down and misses. Fuck. All right. That's old dude over here's turn. He is in a state and sort of shambling. The armor starts to sort of vibrate. Vigo, give me a Constitution saving throw.
Wait, which one is doing this?
The one that you're standing next to.
Isn't he the one that was running away giggling?
Uh-huh.
He continues to do that until he's still incapacitated until the start of my next turn.
He's not taking an action. This is something that's happening to his body.
Oh man, come on. Constitution save, you said?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm so good at those. 14.
So the air around him as he continues to giggle fills with more spores, and you take a big old lungful, and you are now poisoned. And you take 4 points of poison damage. As I guess
I think I have the black lung.
And I go ahead and roll your opportunity attack since he's running away from you again.
Oh, good. 24.
Oh yeah, roll your damage, and this might be it. Is this it?
8. Can't stop rolling once.
That is enough. So as he starts to run by you, I'm guessing you're using your rapier.
I have short swords, actually.
Short sword. So you take your short sword, slash through like the midsection where like the chainmail and leather bits are focused, and the suit of armor collapses. But you'll notice that after the pieces hit the ground, you see the swarm disperse and disappear. Like, remember that scene in The Mummy with all them scarab beetles? Like that, but little.
Michael, I goofed. As poisoned, I should have had disadvantage on that attack, shouldn't I have?
Don't worry
the
about
poisoned condition? Okay, my mistake.
Don't worry about it. But you see the swarm leave the now completely busted up armor and disappear down the sinkhole. Odessa, your turn.
Okay. I think I'm just gonna jump down on top of this guy right here. Like so.
Give me an athletics check.
Sure.
35 feet is pretty.
It is, but I'm also very tall, so it's.
I know you're a big girl, and I know you're good at those.
That's an
You're
18 on the die.
Yeah, that's
Athletics is a +5, so that's a 23.
All right, that's good.
So she's gonna take a big leap and come pounding down next to this guy and swipe down.
Superhero landing.
Yes, almost. But instead of her hand going down, her halberd's going down.
All right, roll an attack.
Ooh, so close. That's a 30 again.
Roll your damage.
And I also have, because it is a magic halberd now, I forgot about this, I can also cleave, which means that because I hit it with a melee attack, I can make an extra attack. Oh wait, no, that's only if, oh yeah, it is totally within my reach. Because I hit this one, I can also hit this one. Because my halberd is very long and it has an extra 5 feet of reach. So that first one is going to take 9 points of damage. And then I'm going to slash. Oh, that's another 30. I used a different die.
Jeez.
Got a 19 again.
You don't ever get to
What?
call James out about Vigo
No.
being broken.
No,
Okay,
not at
this
all.
is the one thing that I have, though. Like, he has all of the broken things.
But you have a thing. That's the point.
I have a thing.
All the broken things.
You're
We also now have more things.
I have all the broken things.
You have all the things. So I assume that hits.
Yes.
That one's going to take 10. And then that's just my first attack. So then I'm going to attack the first one again. Boom, boom, boom. Like whack-a-mole.
All right.
Probably a mixture of slashing and thrusting.
Chop-a-mole. Less
Chop-a-mole.
charming.
24.
Roll the damage.
So that first one's going to take another 9 points. So 18 total for the first one and 10 points for the second.
All right. It is now Bug Boy's turn, who is being relentlessly pursued. He is going to pull out a rapier himself and take 2 swings. First one is a miss. The second one is a hit. So he kind of jabs the rapier up through where the shoulder joint would be. You see like a small clump of mites fall out onto the ground.
Gross.
And when he flings it back, some mites skitter behind him too. All right, Demetra, are you still giggling? You're still
I
giggling.
am still giggling. I have to move again?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, unfortunately.
I love this.
Sorry.
Keep moving. Where are you going now?
Through her giggles, Demetra says, "Damn it, Vigo! You better watch your back."
Where are you moving to?
Okay. Off map? Hold on.
Circle back on yourself.
I'm moving into the water, apparently. All right. So I guess
That's a choice.
I go this way, and I'm gonna run and leap to get. Is this a wall or is this
It's a wall.
I'll try to grab onto the wall, I guess.
Give me an athletics check. There's not a whole lot.
Acrobatics?
No, you can jump just fine, but you're trying to grab the wall. That's the hard part. And there's not a whole lot there because it's literally like a slope. You're just probably going to be swimming. Are you a good swimmer? Do you have swim speed?
You sure it's not acrobatics?
I'm sure. I'm sure.
That is a 19.
That is good enough. You are hanging on to that wall. I don't know what the fuck you're gonna do next. Cause I don't think you can spider climb, so
Nope.
yeah, you might be swimming. All right.
Where did you go?
It's okay. All the way at the bottom of the screen. It ends at the beginning of my next turn. So
Katie, give me a perception check.
There. That's a dirty 20.
Nice.
I'm not gonna tell you what it's for. That's the trick. All right. So it's this dude's turn who is getting really
I rolled a dirty
frustrated.
20.
Yeah, you did. And you will perceive the thing that's there
Okay.
when the time is right.
Okay.
All right, we're gonna resolve this situation up here and get ready to go to our break. So this dude here is getting really frustrated. And after Odessa had come and smacked him with he's down on the ground, and again those armor and chitin start to sort of vibrate, and then suddenly,
I'm standing too close.
yeah,
Uh-oh.
thick
It's never good when the DM starts laughing.
no.
tendrils
Gross.
made of mites erupt out of its body. Odessa, give me a dexterity saving throw.
Is it by any chance it's animal, right? Is there a plant element involved? It's not a magical plant. Okay.
It might have some magical plants, but it's not a magical plant.
Okay. It has a 15.
That's not good enough.
Damn it.
All right, so these 6 tendrils sort of explode out of this this lumbering mass, and completely consume Odessa's body. Odessa, you are now covered in the swarm of mites. You are immobilized. You'll be able to make a strength check on your next turn.
Or could I just Misty Step out of it?
They'll come with you. They're literally like all over you.
Gross.
No.
And kind of tethering you to that
No.
spot. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, you remember that episode of King of the Hill where Bobby gets covered in ants?
Nope.
Why? I don't need more of an image.
Nope.
I've got a perfectly
I'm
good
gonna
one.
I'm gonna fill the Discord up with just horrible imagery
Please.
after
No,
tonight.
please no. Please no.
All right, Vigo. It's your turn.
Vigo.
Odessa's covered in bugs.
Vigo looks over at Odessa. Mouth just kind of like falls slowly agape, like ah. Then looks all the way down as far as he can tell at where Demetra ran and says, "Well, at least I could always make her laugh." And he's just going to put both his swords behind him and Naruto run right at the other bug mite creature.
All right.
And I guess we'll go here for flanking purposes. I had a natural 20.
Nice.
Nice.
And I'm gonna sneak attack, and I'm gonna do a defensive flourish, so I can double all of those dice, right?
Yeah, that's the way it works.
Wow.
All right, let's do this.
Doing the murder.
On the sneak attack, defensive flourish, 34 damage.
Nice.
On attack 1. And my AC is now 21. Second attack with my bonus action. Excuse me, 25 to hit. That'll be another 8 damage. So 42 in total.
Perfect. That was a powerful hit. Humble, a bunch of mites fell out of this dude.
Vigo gives a wary eye to the bug folk. Just like the giant mite armor is there, and he just kind of like peeks his head around it, looking at the grasshopper, going like, I see you.
All right, it is going to swing wide again to try to hit the 2 of you. And it misses both times. Super duper. It's going to take its free action to, again, utter that word, thief. Good. Odessa, give me a strength check.
A 17.
Nope, you're still covered in bugs and immobilized.
What if
Odessa quietly contemplates.
Bug folk's turn. He's gonna. I'm a thief, and then he's gonna take another stab. And big boy, that's a miss. God, he sucks. He missed both times, but he's gonna take his bug folk feature 5, 10, 15, and leap this way, provoking another opportunity attack, which is another hit. 6 points. He lands on the ground this time and goes, I saw it. All right, Demetra.
She's gonna say finally. And can I do like an acrobatics check to get myself off this wall and jump onto the bridge without falling in the water?
Yeah, it's gonna have a pretty high DC because you're clinging to the wall. But yeah,
but she's
I
gonna
like
take
that.
her little goat legs and put her feet up on the wall and
Yeah, and then you're
flip
jumping
backwards.
backwards.
Yep.
But yeah, give it a go.
All right. And I'm going to use a charge of my Prismari Primer to give myself a 1d4 bonus to the check.
Since we are still in combat, this is gonna count as an action, though.
That's fine.
Give yourself bardic inspiration.
That's
Too
such
late.
a good idea.
The dice fell. I saw it. I mean, you could add whatever.
Well, is that an
D8.
action?
Nope, that's a
What is
bonus
that?
action.
It's a
It's
bonus
a
action.
bonus action.
That's why I said it.
Yeah, I'm gonna do
I see how
that.
it is, James. I know who's getting covered in bugs.
Because I
next.
rolled very poorly, so probably is not gonna help. Um, okay, let's see what we got here. That's a 12 plus 9. That's 12 plus 9. That's a 21,
21.
right?
Well, all right, yeah,
Wow,
good
I
enough.
rolled
I
a
was
4,
gonna,
you
I,
guys.
I was like, all right, I'm gonna do not like a 19, right? Yeah, okay, yeah, you made it.
Yes. All right. So Demetra, like Meg described, gets her legs up and kind of spots her landing place and then does a little spinning like almost like a back handspring through the air and lands on the bridge.
You will notice in this area now that your senses are about you. We're going back to that perception check. There is a very strong smell of blood in this area.
I think I can still move, right?
Sure, why not?
She is going to move. She's actually gonna move over by this dude. Cool. That's my turn.
All right. So this dude up here still has enveloped Odessa. Odessa, give me a perception check with advantage because they're right on top of you, literally.
Oh, thank goodness. 18.
Literally. So as you're frozen there, immobilized by this, surprisingly heavy swarm of bugs, you can hear their tiny voices as they are moving around and probably inside your ears, saying, "Return the artifact, thief, thief, return the artifact," over and over and over again. Viga, top of the turn order.
Can I, as a free action, make like an insight check onto the level of sentience I'm picking up from these mite things?
Yes, give me an insight check.
Okay. It's a natural one, so
No idea.
I don't know. I don't know. Nothing.
Here's what we're gonna say. Just because I am about failing forward, there's a lot of noise coming out of there. Like if you really like stop the combat for just a split second and like really zero in, wow, there's a lot of bugs in there and they're all making noise.
I mean, I guess from a common sense sort of standpoint, they're obviously working in unison. But okay. But I guess when I took out the first one, I noticed that basically it's not like the swarm perished, it's that the armor was broken and the swarm dispersed.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I don't feel so bad about it then.
And went back down the chasm. Back down the sinkhole.
And if I were to reach out and strike the swarm that is engulfing Odessa, could I strike at it without hitting Odessa?
No, you cannot.
Perfect. Okay. Then I will
just monster.
Great. All right, I'm gonna attack the first one. I'm not gonna move, so I get advantage on my attack, but I also then can't move. Period. Oh, you know what? Never mind. That requires a bonus action, so I'm not gonna do that. I'll just attack the first one.
Okay.
Or the one that's there. I have to do both attacks at the same time. 17, or excuse me, an 18 and a natural one. So.
All right, roll that damage for the first one.
Okay. Technically, it's the only target within 5 feet of me, so I can still add my sneak attack die. 10 plus 7 is 18 damage.
It's still standing.
Okay.
It's in rough shape, but it's still standing.
Fair enough.
You also take poison damage.
Oh, that's right.
Another 4 points.
Okay.
So this one, take an opportunity attack is coming after Bug Boy.
Okay. 19.
A 19 will hit. Roll the damage, and this might do it.
Oh my
Like,
god,
this
that's
would be like
another.
two. That would be two opportunity attack kills in this combat.
That's another one. So that's
Oh.
still only 8 damage.
That's enough though. So
Yeah.
yeah, you take another strike as this thing like moves away from you. The pieces fall to the ground again. The swarm sort of writhes and undulates out of the armor and the chitin and the carapace bug pieces and dissipates into the underbrush and the rocks, making its way back to the chasm, kind of like a flood moving past your feet.
I see Vigo doing his reaction to be like, stab at it, and then as it falls apart, just slowly turning towards the engulfed Odessa and doing like a gulp, like a kind of maneuver.
It is Odessa's turn. Give me another strength check.
Okay.
This is just a high DC. I apologize. I mean, I don't because this is
Do
the point of the
you?
game.
Do
I
you?
I gave you a really cool halberd, so
How's a 22?
not good enough.
What?
The, the
Rude.
magic number is 23. There, I'll just tell you.
Wow.
Right. But they're not hurting you. They could be. So take that what you will. They're just holding you there.
I'm glad that somebody else is on
Although
the other end of Meg's withering glare.
Although now, since the other two are gone, he'll probably let you go because he's still trying to get old boy. All right, but it is old boy's turn, and he goes, "Man, you guys are really good at this. Yeah, you do this kind of thing often." And then he is going to pull out his crossbow and take a shot towards this one with complete disregard. Odessa. And one of those is going to hit. What's your AC is 16?
Yes.
So you're going to take half of this. You're going to take 5 points of piercing damage.
You're not telling me anything, so why would I tell you anything, Bug Boy? And she is going to use her bonus action to move her hex from dude that fell first over onto the one next to Odessa. And then she's going to cast Dissonant Whispers. Give me a wisdom save.
At disadvantage because of that hex.
Mm-hmm.
That was
That's
my
fail.
next move. Very good.
That's a fail. Amazing. So it is going to take 3d6 of psychic damage and another d6 of necrotic. Wow. All fours. So it takes 14 damage. And it must now use its movement to move as far as it possibly can away from me. It does not move into obviously dangerous ground.
Okay. It's going to move up here. That's as far as it
Does
can
it mean
go.
it releases Odessa?
Yeah, it was going to release her this turn anyway, but yeah.
Well, still, Demetra feels helpful now.
As it is lumbering towards Bug Boy and Demetra, it sort of throws one of its arms forward and whiffs completely. Vigo, your turn.
All right. Vigo is going to take a running leap and try and come down with both swords on top of this creature. So first, let's do both attacks at the same time. All right. A nat 20 and a 22.
All right, nat 20. Roll that damage.
King
Oh
of the
boy,
crits
that's gonna be
tonight in both directions.
yeah. It's
Yeah,
either
crit
critical hit or
fail,
crit fail.
yeah, it's one
All right,
or
we're
the
gonna do some math again.
Oh.
Sorry, I'll do the math for you. I need a second.
Uh,
Do a defensive flourish again. That's 48 damage on the crit. And then the second attack is going to be
describe how you
okay.
do it.
Okay, again, Vigo just goes running up from behind it and just plunges both short swords into the thing's helmet, I guess, and just wrenches the helmet apart.
All right.
Which I assume means that all of the rest of the armor just goes clattering to the ground as the swarm flees.
Yeah, so since you're like on him, you're gonna go down with him and bugs are gonna crawl on Vigo for at least a minute. But yeah, this pile of armor now beneath him as this swarm of mites, disappears back down the chasm.
Yeah, so Vigo does that cool superhero landing thing where he drops to one knee and looks really cool with his head down and the two swords like stuck into the helmet, and then just suddenly you see him go.
Meanwhile, Odessa stomps right past him over to a grasshopper fella and punches him in the face.
Oh,
Roll
that seems fair.
an unarmed attack.
That's a dirty 20.
Okay. Roll your damage. Or it's max damage, so it's 12, right? Unarmed attacks is D6.
Is it?
Or is it a D4? I think it's it might be a D4.
I'm pretty strong.
All right, you bop him one good time on his where his nose would be if he had a nose on his face, but he doesn't. Combat is ended. Ow!
All right.
Damn! What was that for?
Demetra's gonna move her hex from the fallen creature onto Grasshopper Dude. She's gonna cast Suggestion.
We have all the same spells.
What's the DC?
We should
Give
talk
me
about
a
that,
Wisdom
maybe.
saving disadvantage. DC. Sorry, 17.
Fail. What are you asking him?
All right, you are going to tell us everything about why you were running from these folks and why they keep calling you thief.
Oh, because I stole this artifact from him.
What artifact?
This one. And he opens his coat and points to this little statue in his coat.
I got hired to take this artifact.
By whom were you hired?
It's just a contract job. I don't actually know who hired me.
Who did you get the contract from?
Well, hold on a second. I don't know you. Why could I be?
Which ones?
Oh, the Black Glove Society.
So the Black Glove Society hired you to steal this statue?
Well, sort of. They gave me the contract. I took the contract through the Black Glove Society. The Black Glove Society didn't really hire me. I am a member of the society, and I get they're sort of the mediator of the contract for the job.
So you're taking the statue to them now?
Yes.
And who are these weird, gross mite armor monsters chasing you? They were nasty.
They're called the Infested.
Infested?
Yeah, they live in the underneath, so to speak. I don't really know a whole lot about them other than there's some throwback from when the fungal wars, the bugs and the myconids were fighting each other.
Sorry, the fungal wars?
Oh yeah, Titanfell was prime territory. Wait a minute, I don't know you.
The fungal wars?
Oh right, it was this war for who was gonna control the lion's share of Titanfell.
Oh, what's your name?
Oh, my name's Scoot.
Hi, Scoot. Anything that my friends here ask you, you can answer their questions too.
Oh, fair enough.
Odessa's gonna grab whatever the front of his whatever clothing he's wearing and pull him off the ground like just an inch and say, "How much are you getting paid for this job?"
I think the contract was for 800 gems.
It's now 300 gems.
Oh, all right. A little bit of extortion. I mean, I guess that's fair. You did help me out.
She was also really covered with mites for several seconds. It was very gross.
I've been there, and it is not pleasant. I gotta ask though, because this is kind of a really uncommon place to run into random strangers. Who are you guys? What are you doing down here?
Oh, that's for us to know. Well, thank you. That was fairly helpful. So they were guarding this statue?
Guarding, not so much, no, but it was in their territory, yeah.
Oh, what's their territory?
Under the underneath.
Under the underneath. So you went down there, took the statue, and then they followed you up. How do we know they're not going to keep following you and trying to get it? They were pretty dogged about attacking you.
Oh, we don't. They could be on their way here right now. Yeah, I was gonna Amsgray.
How do we get out of here? That might be of value.
Well, you could take the climb, I guess, if you're the athletic sort. The river also does lead to an exit.
Are there any boats?
There's one, and he points, and there is one small boat. It's not
Also,
in super great shape.
Dimitra, did you actually retrieve the box?
Yep, got it in my bag.
Let's go.
Should we
What do we want
climb
to do
or-
about this guy? Anything?
Follow him to the people who are going to pay us money.
Oh, no, I already have the money here.
Okay, great. Bye-bye.
Aggressively cutthroat of you, Odessa. I'm very proud.
We had to rub off on her sometime.
Didn't expect it would be
Ayo.
so soon.
I've been hanging out with her for much longer than you have.
Ah, fair.
He steps away from you and hops up onto the roof of one of the buildings and then just proceeds to ascend up the chasm and disappears into the dark.
Well, those creatures didn't seem very interested in us because at first, before we started attacking them, they didn't attack me at all. So I guess that's his problem.
Yep.
So I guess a boat.
We have no idea where this river takes us, but Vigo looks up. How high up is the wall?
A bit. Like, I mean, more than 90 feet. Like, it's up there. Like,
That does not seem promising.
Yeah, so probably boat. Oh, now that he's gone, she's gonna pull out the box and open it up so we can like see what's inside.
inside the box are 3 small stones. They're about the size, what you would associate the size of like a river rock. They are crimson in color. So each one of you can add a stone of arcane seclusion to your inventory. This does require attunement, but this will be what we call traveling attunement. So as long as you have it on your person for an extended period of time, it will attune to you. It grants each of you 1 free cantrip use of detect magic per day. It gives you a passive aura, which protects you from mundane eavesdropping. Anyone within 30 feet will have disadvantage on any perception checks if they decide to listen in on you. And so long as you have the stone on your person, you cannot be scryed upon.
Neat.
And each one of them, you'll notice, has like a little red, little orange moth icon sort of emblazoned into it.
That's pretty handy. But so on our person, does that just mean in a bag, in a pocket? Don't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Beautiful.
Yeah. It's not like a piece of jewelry or anything like that.
Mhm.
You could probably turn it into one if you wanted to, but it's just a stone.
All right, and this box is pretty neat, so I'm gonna put that back in my bag.
Okay. Add an ornate leather box to your bag.
Thanks,
An
I will.
ornate leather jewelry box.
As an experienced thief, what would I think that could fetch?
What would that? I feel like I should make you roll something. Are you
There
good?
used to be an appraise.
All right, give me a history check. I don't know. What?
Thieves' tools done.
Glancing at it, you would wager that it probably would fetch maybe 40 gold.
Nice.
Okay.
So you hop in this boat.
It does not belong to us.
Nope. And it takes you through a very long, dark tunnel, basically. It does in a few spots get pretty low. But after a little while, you come out of in this gorge that the river flows down into a lake. And taking a moment to like move away from the area, you would see that you are outside the walls of Titanfell now, on the northwestern side.
Well, I guess we don't have to get in the crawler after all, Vigo.
How serendipitous for us.
How very serendipitous for you. I really like riding in the crawler.
The minute we realize we're outside of Titanfell, I think that both Dimitra and Odessa would notice just like this obvious weight just coming off of Vigo's like shoulders. It's like it looks as though he has relaxed for the very first time since you have run into him.
Roll me a relaxation check.
Okay. That's I don't know what the plus would be to that, but it was a 14 on the die.
All right, that's pretty good.
You okay there, Vigo?
Yes, actually, for the first time in some time, yes.
I think that deserves a drink. And she'll reach into her bag and just pull out a little flask.
But Demetra, what don't you think deserves a drink?
Here you go. She's just gonna hand him the flask.
Shrugs his shoulders and takes a swig.
Drinks all around. You too, Odessa.
She is going to take it without complaint. This time.
Which way's north?
That way.
I would assume the river flows towards the sea, as rivers tend to do.
It does. From here, yeah, the river flows south, so you wouldn't be able to take the boat to Northvale.
Well, it would help us know for sure which way we need to go along the river. I mean, unless are there any oars?
No. Did you grab any?
You didn't tell us if there were any.
Yeah.
Did the boat come with any?
They probably were not in it. So.
Oh.
If you really, really, really want to take the boat, there can be oars.
No, that's fine. Can I create a puff of wind to blow us to shore so we can get out with prestidigitation? It says I can create a puff of wind. I just need to know if it's enough wind to push us.
There's no sail.
Whoa!
You know what? We're gonna say that you feel like you did something, but the natural current of the river is probably working with you, and you guys could get to the shore, okay? But you feel like you helped.
I did it. I helped.
I rolled an 11. I was like, oh, that's kind of.
I love when the players assume a challenge that the GM has not put forth.
All right, so you're out of the boat. You are on the eastern side of the river, so you don't have to cross back. It is north to get to Northvale. Probably from here it'd probably be a little over half a day's walk. Not, if you're really moving, which I assume we are because we've been trying to get there for a minute.
Why don't we get kind of clear of Titanfall a little bit, and then we can make camp real quick. I'd like to get some spell slots back.
Okay, well, if we're going to set up camp and do a long rest, I think that's probably a good spot to stop for this week. I really wanted to get to Northvale, but I also wanted to get some combat in, and I'm glad we did that. And you guys got to meet the Infested, which I've been trying to introduce for forever. So, yeah, we will set up camp. We'll take some sleep, which means we get to do my favorite thing.
Oh boy.
And then we'll pick up on our way to Northvale from there. Big stuff on the way. So good job. None of you got parasitically infected by the infested.
Thank goodness.
That was an option.
That's a thing they can do. Yeah.
Yuck.
And James, just because I like you, they were fairly sentient. They just can't. This particular cast of them cannot communicate very well.
Great.
You'll learn more about those later because they're definitely coming back.
Vigo will just feel guilt later as opposed to right now.
Yeah.
Before they sleep for the night, Demetra's gonna look over at Vigo and say, "Hey, Vigo, guess what?
I couldn't fathom what."
Not there's mischief. And she casts it on him.
When did you take that spell? Roll a d4. Tell me what it is.
Yeah.
Roll a 3. Amazing. Make a wisdom saving throw.
No. Oh. I fail and I run off giggling.
Oh man, your dream's gonna be great. I'm gonna have to figure out.
Fair play. Love you. Bye.
I'm gonna have to figure out how far do you get? Do you fall asleep in the woods? Like
no, it's literally for one turn, so it's just 30 feet.
Okay.
And then I come stomping back and say, we can do this all night.
You started it. I just finished it.
I did it in the middle of fighting things. You did it while trying to camp.
I did it because you did it to me. Now sit down and eat your dinner. We're now square.
We'll see what happens next time.
No, we're now square.
Says you.
That's where we're going to stop for this week. This kind of cut. This is where we will cut on the editing part. Good job, everybody. Session 1 in the bag.
Hey!
Hey! Good session, guys. Yeah, there's all sorts of really fun, really great games coming. I'm so proud and humbled by everybody, all the work that everybody's putting in for Grimstone and for the peeps that are coming along with us. So if you're not subscribed, there's a good bet that if you're watching this right now, you're probably subscribed. But get your friends to subscribe. Share the love. Follow us on TikTok. The socials will be up in a little bit, or Meg will rattle them off, whatever we land on first. Our Discord community is growing. Our TikTok community is growing. We're really starting to connect with a lot more people. So come on the ride with us. Make sure you like and subscribe, and all that good stuff. Anybody else got anything else? Be sure to come back. Be sure to check out the rest of our stuff. Y'all have anything else? All right. Well, that's it. Thanks for hanging out. And see you later. Never stop playing. Never stop playing.
Good night.
Bye, everybody.
Night.